don't even know if we're live. I can't tell on this new update. I can't really tell, man. Am I live? Okay, I'm live. Category's wrong. Okay. And then, how do I go live on YouTube now? Oh, this new update is doing my head in, bro. Before I just click one button, I'm live on YouTube and fucking Twitch. Now I click the button. It's not fucking working, bro. Oh, Twitch. Now I click the button. Wait, it's not fucking working. Are we live? Why is it saying failed to connect? I don't like this new update on OBS. I really don't like it. Failed to connect. Alright, cool. We're live. Oh, what the fuck? What happened to my notes? Oh, there you go. I'm just gonna play a tune real quick before we get started. So let's just introduce this properly. Welcome everybody to the Doran beat stream. I'm just gonna discuss a couple things today. I don't know why the title is this. I'm gonna discuss like a couple world events and just gonna be talking about what I think about it and shit, pretty much. I don't want the stream to be called this though. Let me edit the stream. Is there no way to edit the title? That's annoying. Since this new update, I'm struggling to figure out how all this shit works.
Sissy girl, she wanna know.
How do I change the title?
Yeah. Check it. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she want piece of me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna do me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna pour me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna pour me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna pour me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Pas l'argent, il dit en toute manière. Pas l'amour, il a qu'à faire manière. Push it in, baby papa derrière. Get me clocky, baby papa derrière. Mais où va, man, oh yeah. Baby, parfait manière. Jump up and down la belle. She could be my boo. Before she get the title, I gotta be your idol. If you wanna be my boo, tell me what you can do. Do you wanna go round two? You pussy with a title. You pussy bless a Bible. Says you wanna find love. 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 Said she wanna find sassy girl, yeah, she wanna hold me. Sassy girl, yeah, she want piece of me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna hold me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sassy girl, yeah, she want piece of me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna hold me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna hold me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna hold me. Sassy girl, yeah, she wanna know me.
This is one of the latest songs I've recorded. If you want me to drop it, just make sure you spam me on Instagram. I'll drop it for you. Just spam me on Instagram at tomorrow or at Doran Beats. And yeah. Okay, so the Twitch link has got the right title. It's the YouTube that's fucking up for now. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. Can I not change that title? Oh yeah, let me just change that real quick. I've been waiting to change that, fam. Oh my god, that's not the title. Fucking hell, bro. This OBS update is shit, bro. Fucking OBS, get it together, man. I know it's a new what do you call it, feature, but please get it together, mate. Like, it's so hard to navigate it. I can't even see how many people are watching me right now. Like, it's so jarring. But when I use Restream, what error? Oh. Okay. But when I used to be on with the Restream plugin, bro, you can completely see the whole thing. Like, it's jarring at this point. It's fucking jarring, mate. Okay, so how do I see how many people are watching? Stats. So, bro, today is just a long day, bro. Like, usually I start the stream so smooth, but for some reason today it's not cooperating. So let me see. Video storage team. Now, but where are my? Fam, that's not what I'm trying to say, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pissing me off. I wanna get my chat up on my screen. Okay, never mind. I wanna get my chat live in on my screen. For some reason, it's not letting me. Chat. Okay, fuck that. Let me go and stream now because this one's acting up. Don't know what's going on with that thing, but it's gonna go stream now quickly. Login with my Twitch. Login with my Twitch. Oh, yeah. Okay. Widgets. This is for widgets, bro. Okay, I don't get it now. So, streaming them is restreaming. How did I get the chat though? Oh gosh, I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it now. Just wasting my time. I guess I won't be able to see chat anyway. It's not like there's bare chats. Anyway, fuck it. Before I had it all up in front of me, now I can't even see the fucking chats. Great. What's the update if it's not even gonna make it better? What's the fucking point? Close this bullshit, fam. Where's OBS now? Oh, great, here we go. Wait. Twitch only? Let me see. It's not restream only, is it? So if I put chat, can you put chat where you can? Let's just. Okay, yeah, good. You're good to go. So my chat is up. Great. Destination. I don't need that for now. Okay, good to go. Put that up here. So yeah, guys. Sorry, that took how long did that take? That took me a good flipping 16 minutes. But yeah, now we loaded and ready to go. So let me drink some more before I start. So what's up before I start? So it's gonna be I was even meant to post it on my Instagram. I didn't even have time to fucking do that, bro. It's like I'm running against time, bro. Just post this on my story real quick. This is my tune, by the way. Yeah, this is a tune still. I'm just gonna post it and put no caption. Actually, I'm not gonna put one caption. Cool. Hey! The fuck? So yeah, I think we're gonna start with something light. We're gonna start with something light. I got this debate. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna start with something light. Let's see. The fuck is this English here? I haven't watched this yet. But let's see what it's saying.
When you're wrong about nobody let her get beat up. And also, are you asking black men, I'm saying let's entertain it for the sake of conversation. And also, are you asking black men to put their lives on the line for would you put your life on the line for a woman you don't know and leave your children?
Black woman?
Yeah, black woman.
We don't
right
have
now.
a choice. That's part of being a man.
Right now.
Yes.
And leave your daughters without a father.
Dr. King did it. Malcolm did
No,
it.
I'm asking Dr. Umar.
That.
If we're going to tell black women that we can't do nothing with our boys, what else should she be willing to trust us with?
Do you push that off on, what about the boy's father?
Okay,
You
here's the
push it
problem
to
with
the
that.
community, right?
First
What
of all,
about his
that's-
father?
Okay, that's not our culture. Our culture is collectivism. If you're not there, I got to be. It's that simple. The reasons don't even matter. He ain't there. See, we like to scapegoat individuals because we don't want no collective accountability.
How many kids have you personally, and I don't mean over the phone,
Wow.
how many?
Too many to count.
A lot of them.
Too many to count.
Do you
Man,
think
come in here.
you've touched more children than Deion Sanders?
I think it's very possible that I have. And I'm going strictly off of the feedback I get from young men.
I didn't watch this
Meaning
yet.
we're
Let's just see
taking
what this lot
responsibility
talking
for
about,
the development of all the black boys in Nashville. Then that young lady could never choose a wrong mate because we would never allow a wrong mate to exist.
By the way, Dr. Umar needs to get married really soon because his message is gonna cease to have as much importance as he would want it to be, especially if he's talking about discipline and being with our women and being in marriage and be an example and shit. And we never see that nigga with a black woman officially or non-officially, or so. Yeah, he needs to pattern up on that department, because how can you inspire greatness and you don't really show us greatness as that much? You know what I'm saying? So it's nice talking. I guess he's building the school too, but
So whenever a black man says, it ain't my fault she got a baby by Pookie, Pookie shouldn't even exist. Because
You don't put that on the same white people that we put the rest of this stuff on?
Huh?
The same white people that we put all the systematic shit on. We don't put that on them?
Let me tell you why.
And that's in the perfect word. I agree with that. But
why is
Why
this
the
guy
world got
trying
to
to?
be perfect for us to do that?
because, again, the black man is under
Wait,
attack.
hold on.
Right?
But that don't stop me from helping the youngin.
Where
Black
does
men
it start?
Gave their life for the community.
About the topics he had.
My experience of the It's Up There live podcast show was amazing. I came because I met Loon. Next time you have a show, I definitely will be in attendance, and I have my own podcast, so I'm definitely learning a lot from this man. King is giving me gems every time I see him.
I really enjoyed the It's Up There podcast live show. I learned a lot. It's Up There live podcast show was amazing. It was a good time and always informational, and
Here we
it's
go
a perfect date
for the
night
back
for Friday
pains.
night.
I think the
God, I
It's Up
can't
There
sit
Live
back.
podcast was
Here we go
phenomenal.
for the back pains.
Definitely a platform that I am so glad to be a part of. It was definitely
What the
enlightening.
fuck am I listening to,
You,
bro?
the Farrakhan's, the people that I look in and say, oh, all right, let's pull a notepad out, get some of that technique, because there's breath control, there's pausing, there's repeating, there's face, there's so much that's happening.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering who deposited anything.
The only technique that I'm conscious of having borrowed from my predecessors is the need to pause
Yes.
occasionally.
Yes,
'Cause y'all know
so
when I get in,
important.
I'll just go.
Yeah.
And I won't stop. So I consciously try to
Yes.
remember to pause.
Yes.
And that's probably more of a Frederick Douglass thing
Yes.
than anything else.
Because people have to take it in.
They gotta
Even with
catch
me,
up.
because even with me, when you try to get into that vibe,
Yeah.
it's like, at some point, I got to start talking to you like you listening.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
some people, they just talking. You got to talk to somebody like they're listening.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
when I need emphasis on something, I need to lay there for that. Like I even in our communication today, you would say something like, for your black liberation, and you'll just let that live. And I think those techniques, I just want you to know that people are watching those things, and you're pouring into people indirectly just by.
Spiritually, right? There's about 5 different major spiritual gifts. You have your clear cognizance. That's when information from the universe is downloaded automatically into your mind. You know it, but you don't know where you learned it. That's clear cognizance. When I speak, not all the time, but sometimes, clear cognizance will take over. And I'm saying things about things I've never learned nowhere. So it's coming directly from the ancestors. And I'll go back and look at a clip and say,
people
how did
ask
I
me, where
say
did you
that?
learn this? I'm
And I
like,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Fuck, I'm
there's
not
sometimes you get into a zone.
Yeah.
How do you
where
know
it's not
this?
even
Oh
you.
man, I love those zones.
I don't
That's the
Oh
ancestors.
man, them zones there.
Yeah.
If I can get in a pocket on
Yeah.
these boys,
Yeah.
it's nothing
what?
like it.
That's what I'm saying. It's not all the
Fucking
time. And you never know
Nah,
when it's coming.
and it's magic,
Get a
and
pocket
you
on
feel
these
it as a
boys.
speaker, as
Yeah.
someone.
Nigga, if I can go in a pocket on these boys. Nigga, shut the fuck up. No, Diddy. What the fuck is he talking about? Get on the pocket on these boys. See how I related to it, and I was like, yeah, this is happened to me. It's lit still, man. It's like, if I can get in the zone on these boys. What the fuck?
You say
If
You
it
know
happens,
when you win.
if it happens, it happens, nigga. You don't need to lock in the hard every single time, bro.
I got in my bag.
You're like, I'm
on
not
now.
stopping.
Yeah,
They be like, take a break. We ain't taking no break.
No, we can't.
The ancestors.
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah,
We're gonna keep doing it.
yeah.
And the
yeah.
one thing I learned about public speaking taught me more than anything else. We have no control over the outcome. Because I walk into a certain lecture, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tear this up tonight. It's the right sound, right building, right this, and it'll be a regular lecture. And then I'll go somewhere where I'm like, okay, this is just gonna be a regular little talk. It's my classics. All of my classics were unintentional. Every one, the ones that people love, I'm like, damn, I never even thought that night was gonna be that special. And it's never up to us.
Yeah, and this is important for the young content creators because they're watching us. But here's the thing too, as I'm going further and further, I just did Invest Fest for 20,000 people, right? And so when you come out and it's that many people, you look around like, what is this, right? And it's like you blow a circuit or you blow a fuse, you get it back, but for a brief second, it's almost like, what? Like zoom. Yeah. It's like everything you was thinking, your thought process, but it eventually comes. It eventually comes back. Do you find yourself?
Holy, who the fuck is that?
Being in that mode, because you speak so much now, I don't think you may find yourself in.
For me, the best speech is the first time they saw you, because there's no expectation. You feel me? If I'm going I'm going to Cameroon, Africa next week, right?
Yeah, sound is
I was
good.
in Brussels, Belgium last week. I never been to Brussels. So there's no pressure because I know they know me from social media, but they never felt me in the person.
Right.
This is no pressure.
Right.
You know what the pressure is? When I've been in Nashville 10 times and y'all came back to see me that 11th, that's pressure. Because y'all know what to expect, y'all seen it, and I gotta give y'all a new fresh message and be even more dynamic I was the previous 9 times. Yeah. So some people would say the more you come back to a city, the easier. Not for me, it's the harder.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like a place like Chicago where I spend a lot, New York where I spend a lot, it's pressure.
Yeah.
Because not only do I gotta have a new message, I got to grab you
every time
better than I did the last time.
And what I'm trying to do, right, because I'm ascending so fast. So I'm trying to figure out
what the fuck is this guy
now I'm conscious about this as
I'm ascending so fast.
Money on the line.
Look at his chain as well.
And anybody watching me, I got
you broke his all with a chain blinging, bro. Why you going such a big fucking
to whatever
chain,
you're doing.
You get just
right
like
now,
a rapper.
Man, I'm finding myself trying to understand when I get those zones. I literally try to backtrack what that day was. Like, did I place myself there? Was it something I done before the show? Was it? Nah. Even though I know it's probably not, because it never reenacts itself.
Bro.
But it's like I'm conscious on trying to grab that or create that environment that puts me.
Much, man.
Have you found anything like that for you? That something that puts you into a place where, like me, I went back the other day, and I'm gonna give you a second. Before you came, I'm trying to fish. What is that gets my brain, like, cause sometimes, dude, my brain will go and it's like I'm on another, it's another frequency. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to ask you.
You know, I believe when you get to a certain level within your spiritual development, myself included, you'll be able to activate it at will. The reason we can't activate it at will yet, we not at that frequency yet. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you get to,
I even need to fucking get that deep to know that this guy is you're not accessing that, bro. This is not something you control, bro. Right?
That frequency, you'll be able to activate it at will. That zone.
Yes.
It's the athlete.
He'll probably abuse it,
shot
bro.
And can't miss. Right. For 5 minutes.
He was able to use that. He'll probably abuse it.
You went to a high. You went into your super conscious mind.
Yes.
Right? But we have to get there through the spiritual.
Is there anything that gets you there? Like, I seen you, is there anybody that maybe they argue with you and they play, who you think he, or they insult your intelligence, or they?
Not, because it's all based on divine timing.
It is.
Right, so from an African perspective, we exist in 2 worlds. We exist in the
you would know this if you was
exist in the spiritual at the same time. We can't see what's happening in the spiritual. It could have been within the spiritual design for this day, for you to access your God consciousness for that. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Because remember, we got our own plans. Our ancestors got a plan too.
Right.
And then God got a plan too.
Right.
So we think that when we wake up, we're just living our life as we want. No. Your ancestors got a hand in it because you are a reincarnation of them. And then the Most High, the universe has a design of its own. And this is why when you hear like Dr. King say, I want to do God's will, you got to tap into that. You got to tap into that. The highest form of expression is when what you want is the exact same thing God wants you to have. That's divine consciousness, and that's the purpose of life. And that's why I think that we as black people never get to where we're supposed to be, brothers and sisters, until we divorce ourselves from all of this European materialism that we swallowed up. Because we have
Have you ever been swallowed up?
We are
Swallowed up.
And there's no. Why would God help us get?
Hey you ever been swallowed up?
Everyone's random.
Swallowed up. Hey, if you know what I mean,
Does that
man.
make any sense to you? God is not gonna
this
help
is
you. Why would he
hilarious.
get rid of the white man so the black man can replicate the white man? You have to go back to being who you are. And when you go back to being who you are, that's when supreme consciousness will come and say, okay, my children, you ready. Let me put you back on the throne. We do not go back on the throne. We do not until we recover our African mind.
Until we know who we are, we fucking
I seen
are.
you going viral. You had an argument with a couple of guys, and shout out to them. I don't
Argument.
Daily
Not
Wrap Up
arguing.
Crew, the Young Brothers.
Yeah, kind of a debate.
Shout out to the Daily Wrap Up.
Yeah,
good Young Brothers.
Yeah,
Good
shout out to
brothers.
those guys. I think they was up in New York or something, right?
New York.
Yeah, shout out to WTF Studios as well. They're my people. But that discussion was about the black woman being framed as masculine,
Yes.
as unsupportive in a
Yes.
lot of ways, and just a number of different things.
And choosing the wrong mate.
Choosing the wrong mate.
And those brothers feeling like, why do I have to settle for a woman who had a child by a man who was less than his best?
Right.
And
don't
my
have to,
argument
bro.
was real simple. If we as black men were on our job, meaning we're taking responsibility for the development of all the black boys in Nashville, then that young lady could never choose a wrong mate because we would never allow a wrong mate to exist. So whenever a black man says, it ain't my fault she got a baby by Pookie, Pookie shouldn't even exist. Because
You don't
black-
put that on the same white people that we put the rest of this stuff on?
What?
Huh?
The same white people that we put all the systematic shit on. We don't put that on them?
Let me tell you why.
What the
They
fuck
might have
is this guy
created
talking
it,
about,
but
bro?
they're not solving none of your problems. We have to solve our own problems.
the
And like
fuck?
I told those young brothers,
So-
black women
What the fuck was
would
that
give us so
question,
much
fam?
respect.
I said, you don't blame down white people, and you don't. What about that? You don't blame down white people, nah? Nigga, go back to school, bro.
We
What
just
the
went around all
fuck?
the sisters who ain't got a man in
What about that? You don't blame down white people,
You
right?
gotta got one. I mean, you gotta got 5 boys.
Nigga.
We got him. We got him. We going to the school meetings. We going to be with them after school. We checking the homework.
that's some-
we doing rites of passage. We taking them gun training.
There's some
camping.
titans
we
up
got
in
'em.
there, fam.
If we just took the boys, our sisters be all right with us.
And that's
There's
that's in the
some
perfect word.
titans
I
up in
agree with
there.
that.
But
But
why the world got to be perfect for us to do that?
because again, the black man is under attack.
So,
Right?
But that don't
defend
stop
yourself.
me from helping the youngin.
Well, it do
We
if
were
you
under
it do
attack
if you
as-
can't multitask. See, everybody ain't got
We
the kind of
multitask when we be chasing that ass.
yeah, but that kind of multitask is self-satisfying, right? That's a selfish, self-satisfying
Yeah.
multitask. So that's a bit different. You're asking people to multitask and give, not get.
Right.
So it's a different circumstance.
I see what
If
you
they
saying.
don't want to
Right, when
fucking
we
do it,
telling
that's their
someone
fucking
that's
problem.
under
Don't
attack,
fucking
say,
complain.
hey, not only
then.
think
What the
about
fuck?
yourself, think about that other
You don't want to
individual
do
over there that
it?
ain't
Shut
yours,
your
that ain't got
fucking
money.
mouth
And
and
I'm
go
with
to
you
work,
on the-
fam. You don't have
in
no
the
say
overall,
and say, oh, the
overarching
community
goal,
is this,
but I wanna
the
deal
community
with the
is that.
reality of
Because
it.
clearly you
And
don't
there's
want to
a
do the
quote that says,
fucking
"Don't
work,
wish
mate.
things to be how you want them to be. Wish them to be how they are, because that's the reality you live in. Things will be what they are, no matter what. You can't change that, Umar. We can do all. You can't change it. It is what it is, bro. We can't look at it for what
Question
we want
for
it to
you.
be.
You can't
Question for
change
you.
it.
Go ahead.
Here's what I
What?
think, and I agree with mostly what you said there. Here's
Bit
what I
nigga
think.
just basically said
I think we
it
as
is
black
what it
men,
is.
I'm
Just
talking to all the
be how
brothers
you
in
are.
here,
Nigga,
although
shut
not
the
all of you are
fuck
guilty
up.
of what I'm going to say, but I'm speaking to us as a brotherhood. I believe we have gotten so comfortable scapegoating white supremacy that we don't want to take responsibility for anything in the community ourselves. Are y'all following me? That's where we at.
Somebody, yeah.
That's where we at as men. It's like we don't want no responsibility. It's either the black woman's fault or it's the power structure's fault. What the hell are we going to do?
I didn't say
Because-
black woman.
No, I'm not saying you.
Yeah,
saying-
I'm talking about for my audience.
right.
Nigga taking
saying
it
the
personally.
general kind of-
Stop acting like a bitch, man. We
narrative.
ain't talking about you, man.
Either the
The
black
fuck?
woman is the problem or the
Nobody
white
give a
power
shit
structure.
about what
Most of
you
your
do.
Conversation.
No, sir.
Not the
We're talking
black
about the
woman.
community. We're not talking about your
Power structure.
you with your
But the
fake hat and
solution
your
is ours to make.
receding
so,
dreads. What
okay,
the fuck?
let's not push these together.
No, they go together.
Right,
The
but
white
let's
man
deal
can-
with them separately.
Okay.
So we can have a clear understanding of what.
Okay.
Because when you mash them up, I don't know which one we're talking
got you.
about.
I got you.
Right?
I got you.
retarded.
The problem is the power structure.
Yes, sir.
The solution lies in our hand.
Period.
But that the power structure is still attacking the black male, yes or no?
That's true.
Okay, so again, if you don't have the ability to multitask, when do you expect the black male to be self-preservation?
But who said we can't multitask?
Everybody can't, Dr. Umar. We can't say everybody can
find
save
time to go
children.
Why you always
We
find
find
excuses
time
for
to party.
niggas, bro?
Saving
Find
children
time
is
to
different
chase
than
the
partying.
You have time to chase off the nyash, but you ain't got time to take care of your people?
We don't care enough to do it, and we need to be honest and say that.
You think the same skill set it take for me to go stand in the club is the same skill set it take for me to help a child?
No.
Nigga, learn! What the fuck? Learn it! Learn it! The same way you learn how to chops, gal. The same way you learn how to fucking how to make a woman bust. The same way you learn how to cook, how to drive a fucking car. Fucking learn it! What the fuck is wrong with this lazy black man? What
No,
the
it's a
fuck?
different skill set. But
That,
the
I'm
diff-
speaking of skill set.
Right.
You're talking intention. I'm saying people don't even have the skill set to raise their own children. You asking
How
them
is
to
that my
help
business?
other
Fucking
children,
learn.
They can't even raise.
We have
they
the
ain't even
internet.
got the know-how
We
to
have
handle their
books.
own household.
Okay.
Jesus
that means
Christ.
those of us who know how, show them brothers how. We operate as a brotherhood.
So that's a
All
different
I.e.
conversation.
learning.
Instead of
Teaching,
asking that
learning.
wide net and saying that all black men, you niggas, excuse me. You guys didn't put the work in to make a environment to where these people can. So I'm saying when we take that approach, we don't live in what I would consider to be reality and say that, yo, everybody can't multitask.
But here's
and
my
even
pushback then.
Go ahead.
Then we need to stop telling our women to respect us as men.
For real.
We need to stop telling our
If
women.
you're telling me you can't,
to
you
stop
can't do,
expecting us
you
to
you
behave
can't
as
even
men.
try,
If
bro. You don't
we're
deserve
gonna
nyash,
say
bro.
can't,
You don't
because
deserve
can't
no
should not
nyash,
be in a
bro.
man's vocabulary, and definitely not in our collective consciousness. If
Can
we're
you
gonna-
open the school tomorrow?
No, but I can in a month.
Okay, I get what you said. So,
See what I'm
but that's
saying?
still hoping. Hope ain't a
It ain't
strategy.
hope. No, we're not hoping to open the school. We're waiting on a certificate of
Yeah.
occupancy.
You're not giving me a deadline on this big broadcast saying in a month this school will be open.
Physically, yes. All we
Okay,
need, all
okay,
we're waiting for is the certificate.
But it won't be.
I don't know how long the city gonna take to give me that paper. That's the next step. You see,
See, okay, so then
right? But it's not a hope. It's just a matter of time. They gotta give us the paper because all the renovations are done. Everything's inspected and approved. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a hope. It's just when. When are they gonna give us
Right,
the paper?
right.
They can't hold off forever. Then we got to get the lawyers involved. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just think that we as men are not recognizing.
for you to say that's a bold statement, bro. Like
What?
as a man, you can't have can't in your vocabulary.
Hell no.
We should not when it comes
What
to
the
saving
fuck?
our boys. We should.
Now that's a different. See, this
Come
is how
on.
good you
Talking
are.
about our boys.
Yeah, but this is how good you are. You cast a wide net and say, can't as a man, they shouldn't even respect us as a man if we saying can't and it's in our vocabulary. As it pertains
If you're gonna say I'll try,
Now,
at
that's
least
a different.
you can't. You don't have to say I will, I can, but at least say I'll try. What the fuck? Man, say
See,
I can't.
I gotta live in a space where I know everybody
Be a
can't
bitch,
be
then.
everything.
Then let us. Then we got to stop telling women to see
My
us as
dog.
kings. Then we can't have it both ways. You can't say respect me as the god of the community, and then on the flip side, I can't do nothing about that shit. And you can't do that. You can't have it both ways. We
I
as
don't
men
get
got to
it.
make up our mind.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm trying
This
to take
guy's
it here.
lost in
It's
the
just
sauce,
for me
bro.
again. I just,
He's lost
I
in
don't
the
When
know.
you
sauce,
say
bro.
multitask, it
He
bothers
doesn't
me
want to do it. It's
because black
cool. You
women
don't have to do it,
have
bro.
been
You don't have it in you.
multitasking.
But other people will have it in them, bro.
for
Yeah, but-
75 years.
Yeah, and that's 100%.
Raising the kids, paying the bills.
What they gotta
going
do with
college,
black men?
Open a business, huh?
What does the ability for a black woman to be superior in that way, right? To
Okay.
be able to multitask in that way
Uh-huh.
have to do with black men.
Why
We don't
can't-
share.
Why
all
can't
the
you
same-
fucking do it?
We don't share.
You
all of the
retard.
same- No, we don't share all of the same attributes.
Okay.
I'm not saying that men.
So you're
black
telling
men
me
in
a
general
woman can
can't do it.
do it
I'm
better
saying
than
when
you?
we
Then
say
she
black
should be the
men
fucking
as a
king then.
whole
What the fuck?
Is responsible for the environment.
She should be the queen and the king.
Because
If
all
you can't
black
do
men
nothing.
can't. I think that's what the problem is.
So then here's my question for you. If black men can't be expected to be responsible
For
the
nothing.
development, the nurture, and the growth of black boys, what in the hell can we be entrusted
Other
with?
black boys. I'm saying that most black men, at
Selling
least
drugs?
that I know,
I'm joking.
especially coming from we just see, this is what I'm
joking.
saying, actively listening, right? We just was speaking about how Sexy Red and all of these people are
How
in
did we get to
circumstances
Sexy
in
Red?
which the first priority is saving their family, even at the detriment. You just said, you feel me? Even at the detriment of the community, right? We just spoke about, and I want to take
Okay.
Sexy Red out of it because it ain't about her, but we
Right.
just spoke about female rap and them promoting a lifestyle that they may not even adopt, and how that's detrimental. But because self-preservation is kicked in, somehow it ain't their fault by rapping that.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If black men were being the men that our community need, would there be a Suki Hana or a Sexy Red?
I don't think so. They'll be way less.
Why not?
They'll be like,
Let's elaborate.
we wouldn't even see them,
Why
bro.
not?
They wouldn't even want to be that,
That
bro.
gave rise to
They wouldn't
those
even want to
two
be that,
beautiful
honestly.
black
Let's be
women
honest.
having
Why
to
would you want to
engage
be
in
that
the
if you have an
art form
alternative
they
that
are
is
in
way more
in
beneficial
order to
and
take care
you'll
of
be
themselves
alive, you'll
and
be
their children?
healthy, and you
Those
won't have to be
circumstances
stressful?
that
It's like,
gave
bro,
birth to
stress,
this
I
reality
mean.
would have never been allowed to fester.
Stress is quickly
Men
made.
control the structure and the set boundaries. We don't do that. And if we're going to say we can at least be responsible for the boys, if we're going to tell black women that we can't do nothing with our boys, what else should she be willing to trust us with?
Do you push that off on, what about the boy's father?
Okay,
You
here's the
push it
problem
to
with
the
that.
community, right?
First
What
of all,
about his
that's-
father?
Okay,
He might be a mess
that's
himself.
not our culture. Our culture is collectivism. If you're not there, I got to be. It's that simple. The reasons don't even matter. He ain't there. I got to take his place. I am because we are. We are because I am. See, we like to scapegoat individuals because we don't want no collective accountability.
How
and
many kids have you personally, and I don't mean over the phone,
Wow.
how many?
many to count.
A lot of them.
Too many to count.
Do you
Man,
think
come ahead.
you've touched more children than Deion Sanders?
I think it's very possible that I have. And I'm going strictly off of the feedback I get from young men, right? Through the will of God, because I give the grace to the Lord.
Right.
I get messages that sometimes make me cry from young men. You're the reason I didn't take my life. You're the reason I didn't leave my family. You're the reason I finished college. You're the reason I came back home. Sometimes I get these testimonies from these brothers, man. I feel like they're making it up because there's no way you're telling me I influenced your life that much. You see what I'm saying? And these are the ones who I've never even direct, but then you have the ones who I've directly mentored, spent time with, and assisted. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when we go back to the money thing with the whole podcast.
What the
piece,
fuck
I
is
need to
wrong
look
with
into
these
that,
with these
'cause I need that
small
money to
fucking
build more
snakes?
schools.
That's
bro?
what I'm saying.
That's why I have to do it.
What the
And
hell?
this is why I say if the mission
What
is
is this guy
it's
on
a lot of
about?
money even being left out there. That's
Yes,
just
sir.
left on
That
the
we
ground.
need for the mission.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
But I was just going to say that's
See
one of
this
the reasons why the money
white
never
and
really
red guy?
factored mightily into my vision because I get paid
even
back so
nuts.
much through the spirit for what I give to the people.
And see,
that
that-
sometimes that blinds
He's
you or
moving
distracts
nuts,
me
bro.
from even looking at the
Yeah,
X's
yeah,
and the
yeah,
O's.
yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's like, damn, if I'm able to do that, I could give a damn about the money. You see what I'm saying?
And see-
but we need the money
Yeah.
for the mission.
And also, but see, that's still that's you fueling the motivation. That's what I'm saying. The motivation is important, man.
Oh yes. yes.
Bro,
And
what
so
the fuck?
you live in that.
What the fuck was
spot.
this guy
You,
trying to do, fam?
Dion, me, a lot of people clips go viral of like
She said, "Why you keep bringing up Dion?"
what I'm saying is that
For
and,
real.
And again, I'm doing this because now let me address that. Give me a second.
This guy's a shit interviewer.
The reason I continue to bring
He's
up
a
Deion
shit.
Sanders
Interviewer.
with Dr. Umar Johnson is because there's a fight
He's us,
amongst
bro.
black
He's
boys to
actually
understand
us.
which one of these guys and why there's infighting going on between these guys.
like
Seems
he-
like
he hasn't
you have
rehearsed his
colorful
shit.
conversations surrounding some of his moves, and then half of black coaches riding with him. So my job is to try to comb through this and see if we can figure out what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is for me. I want the information. I'm curious. Dion is somebody I know, I look at, he's motivating people. You somebody I know, you're motivating people. We talk all this black power stuff. I'm trying to figure out why is there any kind of disagreement about his mission, your mission, because you were the same guy on a 10-year mission to build a school.
Oh my
so
days,
I
he
look
almost got me,
9-year
you know?
mission to build a school. So I look at Dion like he's on
That
a
small
mission.
guy
So
almost
that's
got me
why
still.
I want to come through it.
Huh?
That's my thinking. I want to have that conversation with you, and we had it. We just stopped him because someone brought it up.
For me, my biggest concern for black men at this time is I feel like we've grown extremely selfish. I don't think black men have the type of spirit that our ancestors had.
What does this guy
You know,
want?
you got to realize we come from a
Yeah,
legacy where black men gave their
fuck.
life for the community. I mean, literally.
Oh, I
Widowed
almost
their
got
wife.
You, nigga. You
They
better
left
be
their
careful.
children fatherless for the people.
You
And I
better
look at
be
us now
careful, nigga.
where I can't even stay at a black school and help build this up. You know, I got to run on to the white one, and I'm just not seeing the spirit of sacrifice that black men used to have. It is bothering me because our women do deserve better. And we can't give them what the white man gives the white woman, but we can damn sure do a better job than we are.
Holy,
And I think we're
what's going on
scapegoating racism too
Let me
much
just go back
because
up.
we don't want to man up.
What is
the
a
fuck?
complete man, in your opinion?
On the basic level,
Yes.
we got to protect and provide. I don't think we're doing either, especially when it comes to children. You got men who do it individually. Remember, we're talking as a community.
Community, yeah.
See, that's
2/3 of our children are being raised by single mothers. 2/3. No matter how you cut that cake, you can't say black men are on their job. Now, one brother might say, well, I got my kids. Okay. But
What
how
does that
many
do for
children
the collective?
are not your biological children?
Great for your kids.
that you looking
They
out
might end up
Because it ain't just about
getting
your
swayed
family.
or getting killed
It's
by
about
other people's
us
kids,
as
bro.
a people. We have to get back to the
only you only worked
weism
on your one.
and away from the meism. The
Bro,
meism
what the
is
fuck
killing.
is wrong
Let's
with
talk
this,
about fundraising.
this guy,
What
bro?
What is the biggest
fuck is he
donation
on?
you received?
$5,000 from a
the
queen
fuck
mother
are
in
you on,
New
bro?
York City, I
Huh?
believe. That
What the
was a
fuck are you on, bro?
single donation.
That's a hell of a thing, man.
Yeah, large.
Pull up
And it
then.
was from a
Pull up
A
then.
woman, an elder.
Wow.
Queen of 5,000.
Did you reach out to her?
Pull up then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dickhead.
I think to
You don't want it,
for
bro.
doing that.
You don't want
our
it, bro.
donors are repeat donors, right?
You don't want it,
everybody
fam.
donates. I have
This guy-
elders who donate.
He's trying to chase me around. What the
faithfully every
fuck?
month. 10. Some of them did it for the whole 9 years.
So you built this basically
He doesn't
off
want it. He doesn't
kibbles
want the
and
smoke,
bits.
bro.
Kibbles and bits.
kibbles and
Kibbles and
bits.
Kibbles and bits.
Did you? When was the first time you put that into your not vocabulary, but into your whole thing?
What?
Hit the cash app. Because at first that wasn't.
Well,
even a
when I
thing.
first took the first donation in St. Louis, April of 2014, to try to get to St. Paul's College in Virginia, I didn't want to ask for the donations, man, because I had seen black pastors and leaders beg for money for years. And I said, I never want to be them.
Right.
But then I needed this school. So when I got up there, was the most, I still feel how uncomfortable I felt that first donation.
Yeah.
And then I started getting other people to ask for the donation. So they would come and say, this is for Dr. Umar, FDMG. And then I just had to get over it and say, listen, your cause is right. You ain't stealing. You know what you're doing this for. You got to start asking for
But
it.
it feel nasty. It feel.
Yeah, but guess what? I still don't ask for the money publicly.
Yeah.
It's still when I'm going live.
Right.
Like at the lecture.
And see, because it still got a feeling
Even
attached
though,
to it.
because I'm a very honest person
Right.
in that regard. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think I'll feel more comfortable once the school opened up.
Right.
Because now people see. Because
What
remember,
the
we
money
still got the
is.
Frederick Douglass High School right across the street. We got another school right there that we got to renovate too. So
How did you go through that with people saying, "Damn, man, I've been giving money for"? Did you have
well,
anybody?
most of the people who were saying they've been giving money, they weren't giving money.
Mm.
Donors don't complain, and haters don't donate. So the people you see on YouTube with all this credit, they're not the donors. They're the haters. You see what I'm saying? And see what really happened, just to give you a little bit of backstory, there was other people in the conscious movement who were raising money for different projects, and they wasn't able to raise much. So they hated on me because the people got behind my campaign. Because remember, they sabotaged my GoFundMe and everything. Oh man, they sabotaged everything.
Yeah, you lost the GoFundMe.
Yeah, we lost the GoFundMe.
How much money would you say you lost?
Well, what happened was when GoFundMe decided to cancel our campaign. First of all, they said they needed proof that I didn't spend no money. I sent them everything, even told them to call the bank, talk to the manager. Every penny was accounted for. They canceled me anyway. So it had nothing to do with whether I was still or not. Y'all just didn't want me on the platform.
Right.
But what happened was, I'll never forget it. I looked at the fundraiser and I saw GoFundMe started refunding the donation. Nobody asked for their money back. Why are you refunding the donation? So that's when I had to hurry up and shut that down and start another account and keep on going. GoFundMe was trying to undo all them years of raising money. Because white people don't want you.
Did you lose any, like?
Yeah, I'm sure. Some of the donations was definitely refunded.
But you never lost in whole, like, yo, 20 grand, damn, they just snatched that, or?
Nah, I don't think it was that much.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. That was like 2016, I want to say, when that happened, maybe 17. But I don't think it was that much.
What do you say to people who say
I've been going in, I can't lie.
Well, they say I'm too hard on everybody, not just the black male.
In specific, the black male, though. Because I'm going to be honest, black men have came to me and said that.
What?
Like, man, he kind of be on us, man. Like, it's like, this shit don't be making sense.
So?
Yeah, but I think that there's a disconnect with
Why are you crying about someone trying to make you take accountability and responsibilities, bro? If you're crying about that, bro,
and it seems like the black man
I'm
doesn't
not gonna
get
lie,
that
I
same.
fully
With
hear
the
it,
black,
bro.
some black men,
We need to do
'cause
more, bro.
most of our brothers, they ride with me. But some black men have trouble understanding that although I have just as much criticism for the black woman, I am not going to repudiate and criticize my sister in a public space, because black women are special. And because they are special, we need to treat them in a special way. And what these ninjas
special
do
to
is
what? What does that mean?
YouTube, criticize, condemn, and cancel black women in the face
I don't
of every
agree.
other
I don't
race
agree.
watching you
You
do
said
it.
black women
No
are special
other man
as opposed to
goes
what?
public and
To other
condemns his
women?
women the way black men do. And I'm not going to co-sign that because it's wrong. You don't see Chinese men going live talking about everything wrong with Chinese women.
They don't call Chinese women special either.
Latino men go live.
They just call them
and
Chinese.
Totally crucify Latino women.
They don't
We
think
do.
they're
And
special
you know what's
just
dangerous
because they're
about it?
Chinese.
Who the
I
most
don't
sexually
think so.
trafficked?
I
Black
never
women.
spoke to a Chinese
Who the most
person
raped?
like that.
Black women. Domestically
Chinese
abused.
women are
Black
special.
women. So you mean
That's
to tell me
nuts.
our women got it the worst? And on top of that,
That's
we gonna go public and tell the
absolutely
world
nuts, fam.
we don't even care about them or want them no more. I got the same condemnation, but I will not do that to her in public. We gotta have a stand.
Now, does that? Okay, let's talk
These
about
small
this.
guys are
Last
trying to
week
get
or the
me,
other
bro.
week, we saw the
Allow
girl with
it.
the swollen face.
Yes.
Allow
You
it,
came
bro.
out and you said that. Let me frame this a little different. Last week there was a story that came out with a black woman that had a reaction on her face. She alleged that some people beat her up for not giving her a number. You came out about that and kind of was critical about those men. That came out to be a hoax.
We don't know that. Some people say it's not a hoax.
I've seen several pictures and videos. I mean, could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I've seen several videos of her trying this, like several GoFundMes year after year, where she's literally, oh, these guys, and this first time it's been that crazy, look that big, but she's had smaller ones where she's pulled this off before.
I don't know, because I put up a post that a sister sent me and said you need to hold her accountable because she made this up. And then everybody else started commenting under there, said it wasn't made up, and this is what you need to look at. So I still don't know what the truth
But let's,
is.
for the sake of conversation, if you were wrong, do you think that, man, I probably should have looked a little more into that? Do you ever,
Because there's nothing wrong with holding black men to a standard of behavior in public when it comes to our sisters.
that wasn't even there?
Well,
Nothing happened?
remember now, even if it didn't happen to her, black women are being choked out and murdered by their black male lovers on a regular basis. It's still
But
an
this
issue.
wasn't that situation.
It may have
On
not
a
been, but my
regular
point is I'm not
basis.
going to draw the energy back, because
When-
that awareness that's coming from my commentary is still very much needed
You
out
see
there.
that red
because
guy? He's
black
been
women
around,
are
man,
being
for a
abused
minute.
and ignored.
So at the expense of the black man, though,
It's not
because
at his
I'm
expense.
I'm
He
telling
didn't
you,
lose
black
nothing.
black men are not that they're not riding with you. I want to be clear.
Right,
they're
right,
still
right.
riding with you,
Yeah.
but they're whispering. Man, I kind of didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know
still
what
there,
that was
the
about.
Ari
They want me to
snake.
beat the women up.
Why
I'm
does
not
he-
gonna do
why
it.
does he
I
chew
tell you
around
right
me
now,
so
I'm never
much?
going to do that.
No, when you're wrong
Find your own
about
friends, bro.
nobody let her get beat up.
Okay,
and
we can do
also,
that all
are you
day.
asking black men? I'm saying
We
let's
can do
entertain
that
it
all
for the
day,
sake of
bro.
conversation. And also, are you asking black men to put their lives on the line for? Would you put your life on the line for a woman you don't know and leave your children?
Black woman?
Yeah, black
Yes,
woman.
we don't
right
have a
now.
choice. That's part of being a man.
Right now.
Yes.
And leave your daughters without a father.
Dr. King did it.
Yeah, that Ari
Malcolm,
snake is
no,
there
I'm
again,
asking-
bro.
I'm asking Dr. Umar.
Why is he
Yes,
following
it's
me,
part of
bro?
it. Okay. Nobody wants to die. I don't
guy's
have a
nuts.
death wish.
Right.
But I understand as a man, my obligation is to every
Go
black
away,
woman,
man.
not just the one I'm married to and the ones I gave
The
birth
Ari
to.
guy is there again,
Right,
bro.
sounds good. I like
Go
that.
where?
It definitely, I mean, because I'm saying,
They
you know,
should, if a black woman
some
sees
black,
a black
women will teach you as a young black man.
Why is he only following
Here's the
me?
thing,
Like, go
some
after
black
someone
women will
else,
teach
bro.
you as a young black kid.
Look at him, look
Don't
at
you
him.
jump in that. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
Bro.
You need to make it home to little tie and little run.
And I think that's appropriate for the children.
Oh shit, my mouth
Before
stopped
grown men,
working.
it's not appropriate.
So he needs to rewire himself as his teaching. His teaching was you mind your business, they bother your family, then that's
is
one
he
thing.
on?
But
He can keep.
What if we had
following
that
me
mentality
around,
when the
like,
Ku
I
Klux
don't know what
Klan
that's gonna do
was
for him.
terrorizing neighborhoods back in the Willie Lynch days? What if we said, I'm only going to worry about the Klan when they knock on my door? They would have picked us apart. We had to organize. Black people are no longer used to organizing because of our self-hate and selfishness. The
Bro,
only
leave me
way
alone,
we come
fam.
out of this is by working together. That's it.
Look at this
And
guy,
even though
bro.
we
He's
talk
been
about the
he's
celebrities,
been next
we
to
might as
me
well
for
leave
the
them out
past 10
conversation
minutes.
because they're not
This is
going to be a
nuts.
major part in what we do until after we do it. No black celebrity has ever played a major financial role in any of our movements. So I don't know why black people keep looking to them. We don't own them. White people own them. They are corporate products. LeBron, Dion, they are owned by the white power structure. They're not coming over here. They will after we win. They'll come drop some money off later, but they won't be there in the beginning. We got to do this ourselves. And we should, because we are $2 trillion people. Black people have more money than any single celebrity except maybe Oprah. We got more money than everybody else.
is that on a yearly, annually?
Annual.
Yeah.
We $2 trillion. Oprah not worth $2 trillion. Puffy ain't $2 trillion.
trillion.
Jay-Z
That
ain't worth.
T
You
is
see
a
what I'm saying?
different thing.
We $2
Yeah,
trillion.
yeah.
So why is it people worth $2 children? Why is it people worth $2 trillion keep trying to scapegoat billionaires? You see, and in their defense, you know what I say? In their defense, how are you gonna expect a billionaire to sacrifice $1 billion when you wouldn't even sacrifice a couple $100? It's not fair. They not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now take my school. No celebrity has donated to FDMG, and I know plenty of celebrities.
No celebrity.
Not one has made a donation, and I know plenty of.
Is
right?
it? That's what I mean about the brand tampering. Do you think it's because of some of the?
I think they're fearful of my message. I believe they are afraid because most of them got white people in their circles. Very few of them have a total black team. Most of them got white folks running around. And I think they're afraid of being associated with my name.
I don't see. I mean, I can see.
But once the small school gets up and running, some of them might
This
donate
guy's
because
still-
they see I was
The
serious.
Ari
I think
guy
some of them
is
also
still
influenced by the hate.
there,
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. That's the brand.
You're
tampering.
not gonna
People
do
say,
it,
hey, this
bro.
is a scam,
You're
man.
not
You
doing
might not
it,
be
bro.
doing that, da, da, da.
Yeah.
And people
You're
like,
not doing
I ain't
it.
knocking it.
Like, what's your
but I ain't
problem?
supporting it.
Right.
Like I really don't know what's going on. And he
guy's
hard. I
nuts,
like how he
bro.
talk. I mess
What is
with
he
him, but
on?
I'm gonna stay on this side. I really
Go
don't know what
find
the guy
other
doing,
people,
like.
bro.
Right.
Dig what I'm saying? He
right.
might. He talking about snow bunny never.
Ah!
All kind of.
Ah!
You know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes I be thinking like,
Fuck!
you know, why won't these celebrities give? Because again, everybody.
Well,
knows.
let's be honest though. It ain't just
Shit,
me.
did I break my mouse?
They don't really give to black community anything.
Shit.
They do United
I
Way,
just broke my mouse.
Democratic Party,
Oh, maybe not.
you know.
Because they won't access the power. You don't got no power.
They want
Oh, that
proximity.
pissed
I
me
got a
off,
lot of
fam. I
power.
can't
They
lie.
just don't want my kind of power.
So
I got
they-
black power.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want
yeah.
access to white
What
power.
happened to black power? It seemed like that word evolved to like woke or conscious or like, and it lost people. It's like they split it up. It used to be black power, and it's just like
This guy's making me lose brain power. Alright, cool. This is one topic done. There wasn't much to say about that one still. What's this? That wasn't on my list, but
That might be most black people. Love ain't love for most white folks.
Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white people.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live. True. White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Whose schools our kids go to? Theirs.
True.
Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we were when slavery ended 157 years ago.
Did I watch this movie?
Executive order almost overnight. A congressional bill came, anti-Asian hate, unanimously passed. Almost overnight. My issue with that, one Asian tragedy, they get a personal meeting with the president and vice president. They get an executive order. They get a federal law that makes it illegal to even use a racial slur. We've been here 400 years. You ain't never flew down and met with us face to face after no tragedy. When that damn devil walked into that supermarket in Buffalo, New York and murdered those Africans, when Dylann Roof walked into that church in Charleston, South Carolina, murdered those Africans, we didn't even get a face-to-face meeting from the president of the United States, who was black at the time, Barack Obama. But this is what you do for the Asians? And then you sign an executive order? And then you sign an anti-Asian hate? Where's the anti-black hate?
I don't want to sound dumb, but, you know, they would have to deal with their people. Who do we have that would support us?
I agree with you. The reason they...
It should be Africa, but you lot retarded. Americans don't even want to say the African.
Responded to the Asian.
I mean, black Americans.
The way
They don't even believe the African no more. So, Chinese American, they go to China for the power. African Americans should go to Africa for backing, but
that they did.
Yeah,
is
they got somebody to call home.
Absolutely. You have China. You have Japan.
Who do black Americans have to call?
Who have political power.
Yes.
That America has relationships with that they can't afford to lose.
Exactly.
And you will have to answer. There will be political, economic consequences for letting our people get mistreated in your land. We don't have that. And the reason we don't have that is because we have not helped to build a single African state into the power base we need her to be so she can speak out for us. We have used our money to empower
Understandable.
all these nationalities and use almost none of it to empower Africa, the very continent we need to do what you just said, be strong enough to be a diplomatic voice for American Africa.
But this is why I asked you before which one is more important to fix first. Because if we had that power behind us, wouldn't it be easier for us to make moves over here? You know what I mean?
If we had that power in Africa, absolutely. But we're not building the power, though. In other words, we should be in Africa right now. I'm sending you to Ghana. I'm sending you to Nigeria. I'm sending you to Namibia. I'm going to go to Ethiopia. We're going to sit down with the president. Listen, we are a $2 trillion people.
Yeah.
We need you to be able to speak up for us.
Would it be hard to get dual citizenship?
What are the economic slave chains
I feel like this guy just
that
said
America has
something.
around
I
your
didn't hear what
economy?
he said, but
What are the economic slave chains America has around your economy? And what could we do with our education and income to weaken those chains so one day they can fall? Africa would love to do business with us instead of the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund or the French government or the Belgian government or the German government. They would rather do the business with us. But the problem with black folks, we are comfortable and content being American slaves. We're not looking at the global ramifications of our irresponsible behavior. We're not looking at the global needs of our people. We are content with this America the way that it is. We are comfortable being treated like 21st century slaves. Because if we were not, with the resources we waste every day, we would be going crazy. Go down your social media feed. Does it look like black America's in a crisis? Go down your
wouldn't have
YouTube.
thought.
Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Go through your Twitter.
True.
Go in. If you did not know how racist America was, and you went to Black Twitter, Black Instagram, Black TikTok,
It looks like they're having
Black
a
YouTube,
blast.
Could you tell?
No.
Don't.
It looks like they're having a blast, fam.
It look like we live in the best times of our lives. Because Black people are like overgrown children. Slavery arrested our psychopolitical development. Slavery arrested our psychopolitical development. The slave system turned us into eternal children in this country.
I
What
couldn't
do
even
children
cap.
do? They spend their money.
I couldn't even. This is real, bro. This is real, bro. These children do spend their money on frivolous things, bro. A lot of other communities, they don't buy shit, bro. They're just saving. They're just saving, bro.
On the things that they like.
Right.
And they beg their parents for the things that they need. Is that not Black America? $2 billion on Air Jordans every year.
You're right.
$4 billion on liquor. $30 billion on hair and beauty. Nearly $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork. Multiple billion on video games. Multiple million on children's cologne. Children's cologne. Check this out. We spend
I didn't
about
even know they had that. Like,
we spend about $21 million on children's cologne a year.
wow.
You know, baby Polo, baby Versace.
Oh,
They got children's cologne. But half the Black boys in
didn't even
America in
know that,
fourth
though.
grade can't read on their grade level.
That's a fact.
Half the Black boys in America in the 8th grade can't read on their grade level. But we
Definitely.
spending $21 million on cologne. I
That's
don't
nuts,
excuse
son.
nothing another race does to my people. Because as a human being, you should be able to practice decency whether you're dealing with a billionaire or somebody who's dead, broken, homeless on the street. You understand me?
Definitely.
But we have to look in the mirror too and look at how we make it easy for people to disrespect us. Because how does a people in your condition have the time to engage in this type of tomfoolery over here? Do you feel me?
Yeah.
If I'm Chinese looking at Black America, how do I make sense out of this?
Right.
Y'all can't care about yourselves because as much as you talk about reparations and as much as you talk about the next presidential election, look at the money you waste. Imagine a Korean walk into a Black community meeting on reparations, a Korean, and stand up and say, can I ask y'all a question? Why y'all in here arguing over reparations when y'all done turned my people into $1 trillion nation? I make $30 billion off y'all people a year. $30 billion a year. How much have we give the Koreans over the past 30 years? What's 30 billion times 30 years? And you talking about reparations? You see that? But Black people are in denial about our self-hate. I tell Black women all the time, if you would just stop hating the way God made you, you can take your $30 billion a year and build an independent school for every Black girl out here.
almost $1
You could
trillion.
stop child sex trafficking. Black women could wipe out child sex trafficking for Black girls by taking some of that $30 billion on here. But guess what? How I look is way more important
Bro,
than the
our
condition of my...
infrastructure is so terrible as African people, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, if we could all donate like just £1, $1 a month, like our community would just do so well already, just off $1, fam. Like, it's nuts. Everyone could just give $1 a month, which I'm pretty sure everyone can do that. It's just like £1 a month. And if you can give more, you give more. Bro. Then there will be mismanagement of funds. That's a possibility for sure, but at least you have the funds.
People. Black men, same thing. We could take the $4 billion on liquor, the $2 billion on Air Jordans, the multiple billion we spend on vacations, all the money we spend on these damn non-Black women. We could take that money and build Black schools for Black boys all over the
clubs.
But I want to know, we can't, I mean, I don't want to say we can't change that, but that's we're surrounded by it. It's like,
Why
has
do these guys' defense all the time is we can't change it? What kind of pussified mentality is that, bro? Is this what America does to Black men? Like, what kind of... I get you're not gonna change it now or like today, but where did they get this mentality of we're surrounded by it so we can't do nothing? It's like, bro, have a spine. Your spine is made of jelly, bro. No wonder you don't stand for nothing.
liquor store. Every block has sneakers.
That don't mean you have to partake.
No,
Discipline.
I agree with that 100%.
Where
but
is the discipline?
it's so hard for the people that don't know.
Man, this nigga just said discipline is hard. Duh. was easy, everyone would have discipline, my nigga. What the fuck? It's hard. Yeah.
No better.
Discipline.
But yeah,
We do know better. We do. Even the most politically uneducated black person knows there's something better I could be doing with this money. Do you feel me?
I agree.
We are comfortable in our oppression. And the reason we're comfortable in it is the white man has allowed us enough of his useless amusements to content us with our oppression. We got the cell phone, social media, NBA playoffs. We have enough. See, black poverty ain't the same as African poverty. It ain't the same as Caribbean African poverty.
Holy.
It ain't the same as Brazilian African poverty. Our poverty is damn near middle to upper class in most other places in the world.
Yeah.
Do you
For real,
understand?
it's kind of luxury.
And so
bro,
because we don't have it as bad as
It's
other
luxury.
people, we think we winning when we losing. We think we winning when we lose.
Is that why, you know, when Africans or the Caribbeans come over here and they be like, yo, you know what? Y'all got it easy. Like,
I
you
don't
know
know
what I
my
mean? Y'all just
girls,
being
bro.
lazy.
Compared to what
I
they
think
come
she would've
from.
texted
me.
And when they come, they take advantage of whatever they can do. So they'll work at the taxi, they'll work at the airport security, right? And they'll save that money and they will send it back home. Many of them come over there to hustle and to send the money back home. And I don't have no problem with
did
them
they
doing
change
that. You
the
understand? But what I
trash
do
app as well?
need the
Interesting.
African immigrant brother and sister to understand, America will give you opportunity that she will never give me because you are not a threat. You can be
100%.
deported whenever they feel like it.
True.
You can be stripped of your American citizenship or your green card whenever they feel like it. They can strip me of my citizenship, but where do they send me? Nowhere. We are the only people that cannot be deported. And that's why America can't stand us, even though she's the reason she can't get rid of us.
So I know you said earlier that you don't want to beg anybody to be a part of the movement, basically,
Yes,
right?
or the race.
Right. So, but it just seems like a lot of people are ignorant to what's going on here. So it wouldn't be begging. I just think they need to be educated. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I think they're ignoring it.
I don't disagree totally.
You know
You
what?
have Nick-
Yeah, he's the only one that's dressed kind of smart. You know, black men have a bondage with streetwear. You know, this is actually nuts. I'm only deep in it now. We actually have a problem with streetwear. We don't dress properly. I'm just deep in now. Like, I'm just wearing a t-shirt with military trousers. He's not in the military. He's Jordans. He doesn't play basketball. This guy's just like this. See, this fit could be smart casual if he wasn't wearing Jordans and a fucking fitted hat. This is that a tracksuit? He's the smartest looking one out of all of them, at least. Still wearing tracksuit. This is nuts. I'm wearing tracksuit right now, but I'm in my house. God damn it, I'm in my house. And these guys are in trousers, the proper shoes, not no trainers, not those sneakers. He's wearing shoes with proper laces, a shirt, and a cardigan. That's pretty. He's on job still.
Negroes and you have coons.
Okay.
The Negro is completely ignorant. He would respond to what you just suggested. Take a Negro who think white people are everything. White women are beautiful. White people are more intelligent. Black people are lazy. He's a Negro. He's been miseducated. You educate him, you can bring him back into the revolution, right?
Right.
He was just a Negro. He didn't know.
Right.
But then you got the coon. The coon knows that the white man ain't better. The coon knows that black people are the original people. But he's paid and financed to intentionally mislead his people. The Negro, I can work with because I can educate him out of his situation.
Right.
The coon is dangerous. The coon has stabbed me in my back the minute I turned my back. And that's why many of our African leaders from around the world have been betrayed by members of their inner circle. Patrice Lumumba, murdered by a friend. Thomas Sankara, murdered by a stepbrother. Malcolm X, murdered by people he trusted. Dr. King set up by people he trusted. When you look at the black struggle globally, because you got to look at all of our heroes and sheroes, not just the ones here. Many of them were set up and sabotaged.
Sheroes, I like
by
that
people
word.
they grew up with and who they
Sheroes,
trusted.
that's actually
Kwame Nkrumah was
nice word.
overthrown in Ghana with the assistance of his college roommate at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania.
It's like
The State Department found his roommate, sent him to Ghana to help overthrow his roommate, who was the first democratically elected president in Africa post-colonization.
Someone's at my door,
It's like
bro.
the Fred Hampton story I seen recently.
Right. Now,
Who's
that
this?
informant wasn't a friend of Fred Hampton, but to your
Me
point,
who?
he weaved his way into his trust, sold him
Oh.
out, gave the FBI a drawing of Fred Hampton's apartment, drugged his Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you get in this movement for black liberation, you don't have no friends.
I have a quick question for you that may be personal. Do you feel like, since you're a big impact to the black community, that you're in danger?
I'd say this. I get death threats on a regular basis. I know the FBI and CIA tap my phone. They've been doing it since my first trip to Africa, 2005.
Damn. How does he
There's
know
about
since
6
when?
people who come
That's
around me on a
nuts.
regular basis who I'm pretty certain are paid agents. Some of the women who have expressed interest in me over the past 6 months, I definitely believe that they are paid agents. But I'm going to say this to you.
He can't be too paranoid, though.
When I look at Malcolm and Martin, and I listen to their friends who survived them, they often talk about how those two great black leaders, two of my heroes, got to a point in their life where they were so spiritually and emotionally exhausted from the threat of death that they felt they secretly wished for it to come to get it over with.
It's like always looking over your shoulder kind of situation.
They got tired of it.
Right.
Dr. King got tired of it. Malcolm got tired of it. And I think they asked the Lord, just make sure when they hit me, they don't hit my daughter and children, my wife and children. You feel me? I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm that fatigued from the threat that it takes away my commitment to the struggle. Now, they never lost their commitment to the struggle.
Yeah.
But they basically died before they died, if you understand what I'm saying. Because once you psychologically exhausted with the threat of death, there's nothing else to live for. I'm still struggling, but I'm not enjoying my life.
Gotcha.
My wife can't really enjoy me. My kids can't really enjoy me because my mind has become beaten down with the prospect of death. Remember, they bombed Dr. King house twice. They bombed Malcolm's house the day
bombed
before
his
he-
crib, bro.
Mhm,
Imagine
before
they
he died,
bombed
right?
your whole
I don't ever want to
crib,
get like that.
bro.
So I
That is
discipline myself.
nuts.
I practice traditional African spirituality. I try to stay as rooted as possible. I need to do a better job, but that's my walk. The biggest thing that insulates me, though, is I believe I was born to do what I did, what I'm doing. I don't believe I was
When
born
you said
to
African
nothing else
spirituality, what do you mean?
but what I
don't
am
know
right now. And because I believe
I know
that
he
I'm on a
means Ifa,
God-given
but-
mission, and
Right.
because I believe that the ancestors are helping me as much as possible to achieve the
Okay,
goals
man,
that I have in mind for my people, which is ultimately liberation for all African folks. If I die in the work, it was my destiny. And if I don't, it wasn't. You know what I mean? So for
Interesting. I
me,
didn't
I'm
know about,
content with whatever happens.
I know about the car,
But
though.
my
It's, how'd you say
comfort
that in
and
Yoruba?
peace of
That's
mind
like,
comes from knowing that this
shit.
is the destiny I negotiated with God in heaven before I incarnated. So it don't really bother me.
So let me ask you this question, right? Just to go back to the dating outside your race. You once said that dating interracially is a form of self-hatred.
Absolutely.
Why do you believe that?
Absolutely. Because why do you want to stare in the face of a member of the people who have committed the greatest human atrocities against your people? These are the people.
Is that
who
only specifically to white people, or do you mean if they date an Asian woman or Indian woman? Is that still the same?
Well, I got
concept?
two answers. If we dealing with white people,
Right.
why would you want one of them after what they've done to us and continue to do? Because your white girlfriend's still a racist. She still doesn't value black life. You understand? That white man Serena Williams is married to, he don't value black life. You understand? That white woman that took $1 billion from Tiger Woods, she don't value black life, right? I can give you countless examples of people I've met in therapy who were called the N-word by white husbands and white wives. You understand me?
Holy.
White people who have sex
Imagine
with
your
you.
wife-
Didn't the slave masters
wife
sleep with our
calls you
mothers and
nigger.
grandmothers?
That is
so just
nuts.
because they land in the bed
That is nuts. Imagine you're married to a white thing and she just calling you nigger in the crib, fam. Ha. 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 I know that one hurts, fam. Nigger. Hey.
See, what makes you think that they shed their racism? They don't. White people are racist. All white people are racist. There's no exceptions. They may not all be bigots, but they're all racist. They all want their people to dominate unfairly the resources, the opportunities, and the privileges of this society.
So
every white person.
What about the people that just say love is love, right?
Who believes love is love?
I mean, that's most people's answer.
Most
when they
that
talk
might
about...
be most black people. Love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white folks.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live. True. White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Whose schools our kids go to? Theirs.
True.
Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us for shit. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we were when slavery ended 157 years ago. So, in my opinion, if you talk to an integrationist, and say, how far have we come since slavery? Oh, we've come very far. We got a black president. Now we got a black vice president. We got a black Supreme Court justice. We got about 10 black billionaires. We got about 100 black millionaires.
Ain't shit changing.
Because their definition of progress is based exclusively on superficial assets. Are you following me? Now that's the integrationist. Now you come to me, the nationalist, the Pan-African nationalist. How much progress have we made since slavery? Zero. But Dr. Umar, how can you say that? Black people got master's degrees, doctorate degrees, houses.
How is that progress?
On our own
How is that even helping us?
We got tech companies.
Like,
here's my question.
What do we own? We still don't own
to what extent are we now in a better position to protect and dictate the lives of our children today than we was when slavery ended? Let me ask it another way. When slavery ended, we owned 0.5% of all the wealth in America. Guess how much we own now?
The same.
1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in America. What the fuck has changed?
Stagnation.
Nothing at all but the appearance of things.
That's what you call
the only thing they did when
stagnation.
they ended slavery is change
Instead
the way.
of spreading the money, so before at least our community had a bit more means and stuff, a bit more economical power, more finance on their side, but more funding. I mean, but nowadays, I guess once you see the stats of slavery, if we own 1% of wealth in America during slavery, and we still own 1% of the wealth in America in 2024, that means that they've just took some of the money from our community and just gave it to a few. So let less and less people get to a certain bracket, a certain tax bracket. So it may seem like we're making progress because, oh, this was a billionaire, this one's a millionaire, but really and truly, they had to take that money off the hands of other black people because the ownership is not right. It's not changing. It's been the same since slavery. So how do you explain that? Unless they're wasting their money more, I guess. Maybe they're wasting. That could be one factor as well.
Look, they traded in slavery.
They're not investing.
Before the 13th Amendment, we were owned by individuals. We was the property of individual slaveholders. After the 13th Amendment, we became property of the government itself. We are slaves of the state.
That's why you have on your birth certificate.
Still not free.
The government.
Let me ask you a question, because
in other words, if you walk out here right now and a police officer
name on your birth
pulls you over
certificate
and takes your life, God forbid, unjustifiably, how was that any better than you being on the plantation picking cotton and the overseer just decides to get off his horse and blow your damn brains out? 157 years apart. Was there any difference in the power dynamic?
Hell no.
Nothing at all.
You're right.
We are exactly where we were.
There's no ramifications.
Power. Power is the measuring stick, y'all. Not education, not income, not billionaires and millionaires. How many black people on TV, Obamas and Kamalas? That's irrelevant. How much power do we have to force white people to leave us the hell alone? And do we have any more now than we had in 1865?
I don't see it.
Moving.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask a question real quick. Because a lot of people say that Obama got in office and he did nothing for black people. Do you think he had the power to do anything when he was president?
I want to ask a question before that question. Do I think he had the power?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Major changes, he didn't have the power.
Right.
Minor changes, he did. For example, Barack Obama could have got us more black teachers. Barack Obama could have did something about the special education exploitation of our children. He could have done something about the suspensions and expulsions. He could have fought for better schools and more black educators, because everybody agrees that the schools are a problem. Do you understand? Everybody
Barack
agrees.
Obama was the biggest wanker, fam. What the fuck did he do?
Obama didn't do nothing about that. You follow me? He could have done something about black homelessness. He didn't. Now, for the black middle class, he threw them a couple bones and allowed them to buy a house.
We got George Floyd
and
after
consider that
Barack
progress,
Obama.
right?
So
but
I don't see
overall,
what the
did he
fuck
systemically change anything for black people? Not at all. But did he systemically change anything for gay people? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But don't you think it's easier for one to do that because of the power that they possess? Because of, you know what I mean, there's white people, Asian people that's in that community.
Okay, possibly, but here's my question for you then. Let's say Obama had no power to change nothing. Let's just say that. Then why would you vote for him for your presidency?
I was ignorant
Right.
to how that whole system worked. When I first voted, I just turned 18. You know what I mean? So as I'm learning more, I realized that it goes through a vote and you need certain seats, people in these seats to push bills through. He didn't have that. Even Biden now, where we voted in these seats, he's still not doing nothing for black people.
But you know what the difference is? Presidents have executive privilege. Barack Obama could have signed executive orders to do things for black people that he did not do. Remember, Biden gave the Asians an executive order before Congress gave them a law. He gave the Native Americans an executive order before Congress gave them the law. You follow what I'm saying? Donald Trump gave the Hispanics, the Latinos, an executive order before. You understand? Obama could have used the power of his pen. And here's my one thing against Barack Obama. My one thing. You're right. I'm not going to slight him for not changing anything. I'm going to slight him for not even trying. Do you see the difference?
Definitely.
You the president of student government at college. You didn't get nothing done. But guess what, brother? I salute you because I saw you fight for me. You feel me? You didn't get nothing done, but I saw you fight for me. Every time I turn on the television, Barack Obama talking about homosexuals. Like they the only people in the country. That's all he talked about. Middle-class white people, homosexuals, women, and immigrants. That's all he cared about. Black people got no attention from him, but that's why the white man put him in there. When Obama was running for office, I'm one of the...
I can't even disagree. I can't lie.
Only scholars of public stature that said when he's done, we're going to be worse off than we was before he got in there. You go to I did a lecture at Black and Nobel bookstore in Philadelphia. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. People still watching now. They say, Dr. Umar, everything you said in the Obama, and this is why he was running, everything you said about him, it has all come to pass. Why? I'm not no genius, but what I do know is every time we get elected officials, the condition of black people gets worse. It never gets better. Rarely do we do better when somebody black gets elected.
You don't think he was personally hand-selected, especially after the whole Bush situation?
Yeah. They selected Barack Obama to make make the black community in America safe for homosexuality, and they needed him internationally when back Africa's support because America needs Africa's resources. So he was a stooge and a puppet. He knows it, but he did it willingly. You know, I'm sure he has trouble sleeping at night sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But my point, again, if he has no power, and if you claim your vote, see, both things can't be true. Either your vote is important, or Obama should have never been elected because he ain't got the power to do nothing. You see that? You can't have a vote. You can't say my vote means everything to me, but I'm going to use it on a man who can't do anything for me. It can't be both ways. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't blame Barack Obama. To his credit, he never said he would do nothing for black people. Do you understand me?
Face value.
When Jesse Jackson ran for president, 84, 88,
What's that face
he
value?
said he would do
What the
something for
fuck
black
does
people.
that mean?
When Al Sharpton ran,
What's that face
he said he would do
value?
something
What
for
the
black
fuck
people.
does
When
that
Barack
mean?
Obama ran, he made sure he didn't mention black people. Even in his presidential address, he wouldn't even mention Dr. King by name. He just said a preacher from Georgia. He wouldn't even say his name. Obama stayed as far away from black issues as possible. So to his credit, he didn't lie to us. We projected onto him this messianic complex that's failed us. Because guess what? You know what? Do you think Joe Biden would have ignored black people if we didn't let Obama do it for 8 years? Do you think Donald Trump would have ignored black people if we didn't let Obama do it for 4 years, for 8 years?
So they were trying to test the temperature. They were trying to read the room. That cool. How much fuckery can we get away with these people? Okay, if their own black people can get away with that much fuckery, maybe we can do this little bit of much fuckery. That's what they were thinking.
The president's attention anymore. Because the whole world watched black America catch hell and give Barack Obama a pass for 8 years. The worst thing we could have ever done was publicly say it was okay.
How do we bring
for him
value
to not do nothing and just be black?
How do we bring value back into our vote?
Yeah,
You have to organize it along racial lines.
I thought it was disrespectful.
Get out the Democratic Party.
When Joe Biden, when he was asked by Charlemagne,
Yeah.
why should black people vote for you, and he's just like, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Like that wasn't an answer.
He was dead serious.
But you know why?
He was
didn't get no flack from it.
He did.
Dead serious.
But you know why he was comfortable enough to say that? Because the Democratic Party has owned the black vote since 1933.
That's correct.
This is 2023. So in another 9 years, we would have voted Democrat for a century. What have the Democrats done so great?
Shit.
Jack shit.
That we owe them our vote for 100 years, brothers. 100
Nothing.
years. 100 years.
Great question.
You see that? Get out to your question. Get out the Democratic Party. Get out the Republican Party. Black people need to become independents, and we need to run and finance our own independent candidates. So when you become mayor of New York, when you become governor of New York, when you become a city council or state rep, you're going to do whatever the black community tells you to do because you don't owe nobody nothing. You didn't take no money from the Rockefellers. You ain't take no money from Chase Manhattan. See that? You ain't take no money from Morgan Stanley. You ain't take no money from Walmart. You ain't take no money from Hyundai. You ain't take the money from McDonald's. You are a free candidate. The problem with our elected officials is 99% of them show up in office already enslaved by the dollar of another man.
So how can
we up there celebrating? Oh, he's the new mayor of New York City, like the guy y'all got now.
Shoot.
Ain't he a former police officer?
Yeah.
What we vote for him for? He's a damn cop. No disrespect to him. He might be a nice guy, but you fraternal order of police?
His color's blue.
So thank you. So what we vote for him for? Because black people love to be
How
oppressed.
can an independent party win them? Because if
you don't need to win. In fact, you don't even need the party. You just need an independent political union. In other words, let's say we in the American minority, right?
Right.
We could run an independent. We never gonna win because whites got more votes than us and Latinos now got more votes than us, right?
Right.
Yeah. We don't have to win. We're gonna leverage our votes. We're gonna have a political town hall meeting with all the major candidates: Republican Party, Democratic Party, Libertarian, Green Party, right? You say, hey, this is New York City. We got 4 million black votes. And we putting them all in one place. We are not splitting. Do not divide the black vote. Put it together. We're going to ask y'all some questions. After y'all leave, we're going to talk about y'all behind y'all back. We're going to have a big community town hall debate. But when we walk out of here, we agree that majority rules.
Right.
And whichever one of y'all we vote for, that's who's going to get the votes. And if you do not deliver on what you promised, very next election, you're gone. They're going to have to deliver. Can they survive without your 4 million votes? Hell no. Hell no.
That's why they said save us for the end and start
Absolutely
stupid shit to make us
Listen,
happy.
here's what y'all need to understand. Nobody wants an organized black vote. Let me say that again. No black governor candidate wants an organized black vote. No black U.S. Senate candidate. No black U.S. rep. No state rep, state senator, city council. Nobody, black or white, in politics wants an organized black vote. You want to know why? Because you now got the power to hold them accountable. If we was organized, your mayor would have to go to war with the police department on our behalf. He wouldn't have a choice, or he's going to be unseated.
Right.
Do you understand me? You think he wants y'all to be organized? These handkerchief head-ass black politicians who don't fight for us in these governmental systems, do you really think they want your vote to be organized? You will make them turn their slave master into an enemy.
Do you think that's why they give women and trans people so much leverage? when it comes to like separating them from actual like black man or the black family?
Yes. I do think they want the black female vote because she's the biggest constituency in our community, right? Brothers don't vote, brothers in jail, brothers know the vote ain't gonna mean shit until we organize it. So yes, they would rather have a black female vote than a black community vote, hands down, because black women vote more than black men. And that's why we need our sisters to come back into the fold and say, you know what? We're not voting as women, we voting as black people. And we voting with our men. Do you know how powerful that would be?
Right.
If black men and black women stop the dumb shit on social media and say we're gonna fight because we got a common enemy, white supremacy, and we're gonna put our votes behind a candidate who offers to do the most for us, that would be revolutionary.
Definitely.
So speaking of that, you know, I've seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria,
I was about to skip,
what was her name?
but
Gloria
it scared
Steinem,
me.
I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of
I
modern
should've-
feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right, with Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
So, you know, obviously, you know, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, you know, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, you know, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So,
That's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man. A black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate she may never get. I have two daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest would be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband.
I hear that still.
So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction
pain.
to the reality.
That's pain speaking, bro. It's not funny, but, bro, they would never admit, but, bro, that is pain. They'll be like, no, I'm happy. Yeah, right. Right, you're happy, right?
That I may not get a man.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you know, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with with white women.
With all women, you should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere else.
in Africa.
Absolutely.
So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like if you,
I do.
If you feel
I
like
tell sisters all the time, go to Africa.
So
I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never
I'll
get
take
married,
the sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think
there's
plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black
it is.
women. So
and what I
instead of
also
saying that
tell
they'll
black
never
women,
get
if
married,
you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will
That
not be
can't
tolerated
run.
over there.
It's not tolerated here.
That can't run. What the fuck is this gay nigga talking about, bro? Shut the fuck up, bro. That can't run here. This nigga talking about the States, bro. Nobody take American men serious. What the fuck is he talking about? That can't run here. But we do it here too. Shut the fuck up.
That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here,
that's what we trying to tell. Hey, go to Niger. Go Ghana. They're not trying to say nothing, bro. They're just saying it, and that's it.
I'm going to say this to
us. That's it.
Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
You're gonna say no. We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No,
your brother's
you have to be held
doing some
accountable
mad shit.
because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate.
Nah. Hold on. Wait, hold on. You have to be held accountable because your brothers are doing fuckeries out there, and you not standing on no morals to pull them to the side and say, my brother, pattern up, fam. That's exactly what it is, fam. It's not. It's easy to shift the blame and be like, but the women don't know how to pick men. I hear it, but what the fuck is there even to pick in the first place, bro?
What I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're gonna end up with a poor mate.
For real now, what the fuck are they even picking? Like there's like 5 good options for the whole town. It's like, bro, I hear it.
And why is she gonna end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about?
How many black dads are scared of their own sons nowadays, bro? They're like, I can't tell him what to do. I don't want to speak to him. I don't want to tell him that this is not the way you do it. I don't want to get involved in his road business. I don't want to, brother.
Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us.
I understand
we have not been on our...
Nah, this light-skinned nigga don't understand. No. He's gone in one day, out the other. It's like, yeah, I ain't dealing with these ratchet-ass bitches. What the fuck?
Job is black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good
No.
father. But guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be
If we was
more
loving
selective.
our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
You're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's
You are
good
fucking
quality
Pookie
men
and
that
Ray
they
Ray. What the
Why she even got it? Why
He's the Pookie's talking about. What the fuck?
Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why.
I said her. Nah, ask the man them now. Why you behaving like an, you know?
It's a Pookie in the selection.
Like an N-word.
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm
I can
not
respect
saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right, that still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, you know, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But when if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources, and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine.
Why do you care?
It's kind of hard to have that.
Why the fuck do you care about what them get out there? They wouldn't be good news for you anyway. That's what I think.
No, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
And if you're constantly running into that type of woman,
you're
then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why is
why
that?
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you have the man.
Because bro, we're men, bro. We chatting between men right now, bro. Why you keep trying to chat for a gal, bro? Why you keep trying to say, but women this, bro? Look at yourself in the mirror, fam. What the fuck? This is what I'm saying, bro. Just listen to what he's saying, and fucking rebuke it, and entertain what he's saying. Interact with what he's saying. Don't be in your head saying, but what about this? What about that? Like, bro, nigga, shut the fuck up.
We having a conversation as men.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I just said, bro. Like, bro.
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
All right.
But
you don't know women. Why do you so in their business like that, fam?
You should not be concerned about what I say to them. No, as men, we should be concerned of what
we say
we're
to
going
ourselves
to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only.
And that black nigga on the sofa try to say, oh yeah, in America we're the same as Africa. Like, this behavior can't run here. Bro, shut the fuck up. You don't even understand. You don't even understand your place in this world, fam.
That is where we should be focusing.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only up to her.
If you don't put a seed in her,
how about you don't chop?
Happens. And no woman can.
You know what I mean? How about you don't fuck whores that you don't want to have kids with, bro? If you're not gonna complain, fine. Do your thing, bro. Slang your thing, bro. Cause you're doing you. But if you're gonna be crying, why does she get to keep the baby? Why does she get to do that? Bro. Stop busting in holes then. What the fuck do you want me to say?
Make you put a seed in her.
Stop doing that.
So the original act
control
was the
yourself.
Responsibility of a man.
True. I mean,
how can you even debate that, bro? Like, he makes himself look dumb.
The household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
Right. So how, if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Because you're a man.
Because black men,
double,
as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
It's double standards, bro. It's double standards. As bad as it is, it's double standards, bro. You're not a gal.
Here's the question:
you can't have kids. You can't bring them into this world. Like, you don't have breasts. Yet you wanna be doing the same complaining that the gals are doing, fam. What is going on? It's like you're jealous. It's like man is jealous. It's like, but they get to say that. I don't get to say that.
We gotta that.
Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make,
feeds
into the feminist agenda.
Exactly.
It's an argument that says I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's
not what we make excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life.
I'm gonna go back to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist.
For real.
And the only reason why Pookie and
too
Ray Ray
pussy
exist because we're
to
not
check
in the community.
Pookie and Ray Ray. Man's here complaining about Taekwon and fucking Jamal, bro. He's like, why is she picking Taekwon and Jamal instead of me? I worked hard on this and she keep picking Jamal. It's because you're such a bitch. You don't even have the balls to go and check Jamal and tell them, Jamal, you need to allow it. You don't have the balls to go and see Taekwon and be like, bro, you can't be doing this. This is exactly what it is, bro. It's exactly what it is, and that's why you don't get to fucking complain about this shit. Because you ain't doing nothing about it. Bro, there's no way, bro. There's no way, right? The man them know, like, we had times when shit, I wasn't agreeing with shit. And I'm telling the man them, you can't move like that, bro. Like, you gotta move diligent. You can't be moving sloppy and, bro. No, because that's how you get in trouble. And then I'm associated with you. Now you get in trouble. My name, people know that I chill with you. Now my name is associated with your bullshit. So no, bro. So man's like complaining about Pookie and Ray Ray, bro. How about you tell Pookie and Ray Ray stop acting like Pookies and Ray Rays? No? He's gonna say, but that's not my business. Exactly. So shut the fuck up.
Making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that?
And,
She don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie, and that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't
Nigga,
allow
why
one.
is there a Pookie in the
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow
But
one.
Dr. Umar, we
Men supposed to make raise the boys.
Right. We
Rites
as
of
men,
passage.
we as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you talking about right now.
What are you doing for the young brothers in the street? So
What you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean, he's a great father.
I ain't talking
Nah, not your own kids.
But that's individualism.
That's your
What are
own
we
kids,
doing
bro.
collectively as
Collectively.
men to change the
Stop
trajectory
thinking
for
about
black boys in the
yourself.
streets right now?
I believe
Nothing.
We're being
but
a voice.
talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take
It's
it as
not
that.
going to get better unless
like
we put
talking
hands
shit.
on deck. The reason the athletes and the
He's
rappers
spitting,
are
you
the
know.
role models is the
He's
professional
spitting,
black
you
men
know.
moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more. Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We
We
abandon
don't even know who that
black
is.
boys, and then we blame black men for poor choices in
Oh, black
mates
women.
that they should not even have to make if we did a better job
you
raising
made a
our boys
mistake.
the right
I
way.
think he meant
At the
black
end of the
women,
day,
but yeah.
if I'm going to call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a
He's dried
man,
up quick,
as a
fam.
leader,
thought-
to
I
say
thought
I
that
can't
was
fix
the
this
case.
shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different accords. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
I
that's
should not
just
have
one person.
Dude,
You still going back to
but
individuals.
I
You're still
only
going
feel
back
like
to
we
yourself,
tell-
you bitch. You're still going back to yourself. Stop thinking like that, bro. You're not a bad B, bro. Nobody cares about you, fam. I was like, oh, I worked hard and nobody's picking me. But that moment is. Oh, I'm gonna stop speaking Creole when this is mad.
Black men that we have to now deal with masculine women, women with children.
Why
by
is
other,
she masculine? Because
don't
she's
got-
had to raise the kids alone, not one woman,
So you mean
brother,
to tell me-
a whole
I-
community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
That's what I have to
no,
look forward to.
But
You
I'm
see-
telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
I am
and when
not.
I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No, yeah, I
I
agree.
mean you
Yeah, yeah.
as an active member in
Definitely.
the community
Yes.
where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking them to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with them every Saturday. He got his own kids too.
Man, them are not doing it unless they're fucking. I'm sorry, Umar. Them man, they don't have it in them. They don't have it in them, bro. They just don't. They just don't, bro. Hey, them man just don't have it in them to be doing all that, bro.
But he gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and having to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be-all, in-all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe. So.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand. I understand what you're saying.
I'm not
And
taking
you
nothing
have
back from
yet
that.
to tell me something
These man
that
are
we've done
retarded.
systemically to combat that.
Because
Because you keep saying me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty of
Women and men. Women and men as a group in the
Right.
community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see? So you say she had a couple kids already because she met men. She probably thought they was good, some of them. They left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, bro.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're
bro.
making
You know what I'm saying?
assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
Would you make the same assumption if it was your mom? Why you making an assumption about people you don't even fucking know? Like, but yet you want to keep bringing up your own personal example of you're such a great man, bro. Bro, shut the fuck up.
So you say.
No,
I'm
I'm
such a
not.
great man.
No,
That's already a red flag. Someone that keeps saying that, oh, I'm such a great man. Like, but fam, that's a red flag, fam. That is a red flag. Why do you feel the need to even vocalize that, fam?
Come on.
We hold all
Listen,
women accountable.
So you said,
Listen,
Come on,
like I said, I feel like as a black
we
man,
don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside their race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
Y'all three.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
I
But
can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that,
But
if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
black women
That's
do
only
not. No, you're wrong.
That's percentages
You're
apart.
wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm
That's
not
wrong.
saying that, but the percentages
Black
ain't that
women,
far off. That's what I'm
black
saying.
women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates.
Mm-hmm.
But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing
And
interracially.
black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay. But what
That has no value?
it does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house.
Yeah.
But I know it's not enough of us to go around.
Yeah.
We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood.
Shit dried up. Son.
And we're complaining about the women
I argue with women
who
all
are
the
making babies
Yeah,
with
I
the
ain't arguing,
irresponsible
y'all.
men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
All right.
That's wimp ass weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree. I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we could be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
Not enough.
I know what I'm doing about it. I'm
I
building
agree.
a school for it, 2 of them. But systemically as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing. Black.
Alright, cool. We spent a lot of time on this one, so I think I'm gonna move on. I think we got the gist of it. I wanted to. Let's go into the Iran stuff.
Supercharge your creative team with music. Find that perfect sound. Publish across all markets and platforms.
The world has changed because what Trump has done. And the American people, including independents and some Republicans, know how bad he is, know how much he's misrepresented, know how he's getting close to getting us in a war. I said, as the walls close in on this man, I'm worried he's going to get us to war in Iran. Unfortunately, I may have been right. The fact of the matter is there's a lot at stake in this election.
This is my video update on this Sunday afternoon, April the 14th. Let's talk about some news. And of course, we are going to talk about Israel and Iran. The Iranian retaliation into Israel that took place yesterday evening. Things really went off yesterday evening. I was saying in my video update from yesterday, I was questioning actually in my video update yesterday, would Iran really launch an attack on Israel in the way and the time frame that the Biden White House was talking about? Would Iran really launch a strike into Israel?
It is 40 minutes long.
With
what's
hundreds of drones and missiles within the 48-hour time frame that the Biden White House was warning about. And sure enough, that is what happened. And I had doubts. I had doubts that Iran was going to fall into this trap. But that is exactly what took place yesterday evening. And I think that really is the question that we all have to ask today, which is whether this was indeed a trap to get a wider war in the Middle East, a trap set out for Iran by the neocons and by Israel, Netanyahu, to pull the U.S. into a Middle East conflict, to pull the U.S. into a war with Iran. And did Iran fall into this trap? Yes and no, I guess is the correct answer. Yes and no. And I was watching Alexander's video update from yesterday, and he referenced an article from yesterday from the Financial Times with the title, Iran Signals Calibrated Retaliation to Israeli Strike. And this article was put out by the Financial Times a little before the strike actually took place. But this Financial Times article which cited various officials close to the Biden White House and the Financial Times. They do seem to have special access to the Biden White House. I don't know why, but the Financial Times seems to have very good sources, very good information into the going-ons of the Biden White House and the Biden foreign policy whiz kids. And this Financial Times article, it basically says that the Biden White House, through Oman, was engaged in back-channel diplomacy to calibrate the Iranian response. And the Biden White House would then relay its back-channel diplomacy to Israel. So Biden White House via Oman to Iran, calibrating what this response from Iran was going to be, because you had to get a response from Iran. Iran had to respond. Their embassy was attacked. And then the Biden White House was liaising with Israel. That is pretty much what this Financial Times article was reporting. And this Financial Times article was posted a little before the actual response, retaliation, took place. Here's what the Financial Times says in this article. And they're hinting at a U.S.-Iran back-channel calibration, coordination. Tehran is unlikely to target Israeli diplomatic facilities in the region, said an official briefed on talks between Iran and Oman, the Gulf state that has often facilitated back-channel diplomacy between Tehran and Washington.
So Oman is doing the middleman between Iran and the US.
Sometimes the only thing more difficult than running a business.
Is this what's going on? So Oman is doing middleman for talks with diplomatic talks and arrangements between the US and Iran. What did they get out of that? What did they actually get out
So in this
of that?
sentence from the Financial Times, talking about the calibrated Iranian attack, the Financial Times is basically saying, without coming out and saying it, they're hinting at the fact that Tehran is speaking to Oman. Oman is speaking to the United States, and they're calibrating their response. And obviously, Washington is speaking to Israel. And this is as close as you're going to get to the Financial Times just reporting, the Biden White House via Oman, they're speaking with Iran and they're discussing how all of this is going to go down. No diplomatic targets. We're going to hit military facilities. This will give an ample amount of time to Israel to prepare, and Iran gets their retaliation. They get to showcase their military capabilities. They get to showcase new weapons, hypersonic missiles. And Israel, they have time.
Where did Iran get their weapons from? Did they get their weapons from? Oh shit! What the fuck?
Israel to prepare, and Iran gets their retaliation. They get to showcase their military capabilities. They get to showcase new weapons, hypersonic missiles, and Israel, they have time to prepare for this attack. And barring any miscalculations or something going wrong, if there are no casualties, that is what the Financial Times article actually says. And keep in mind, this is before the attack actually took place. If there are no casualties, the Financial Times was reporting, then Israel can defend against the attack, and as long.
So it's China, Russia, and North Korea. Well, North Korea has a military state, so more than half their budget goes into the army and R&D. So I wouldn't be surprised if in Russia we don't even know what kind of weapons they have, bro. They've been stacking up since the World War II, bro. Them man been stacking up weapons, bro. The Islamic Republic of Iran has a population of 86 million. Sheesh, that's a lot of people. And is located on the eastern shores of the Persian Gulf. Since the overthrow of the monarchy in 1979, Iran has been a Shia-ruled Islamic republic. President Hassan Rouhani, who won the presidential election in 2013, continued the country's record for repressive rule until 2021, especially against political activists and sexual minorities. Despite what the fuck is a sexual minority? Despite campaigning for limited political and social reforms, following the presidential election in June 2020, when conservative judiciary head Ibrahim Raisi has been elected Iran's 8th president with 61.95% of the vote on the voter turnout of 48.8%, the lowest turnout for a presidential election since the 1979 lowest. Damn. Why? The UN and the EU implemented mandatory arms embargoes on Iran in 2006 and 2007 respectively, and this was followed in June 2010 by a UN embargo which lifted most economic sanctions on Iran in exchange for strict limits on its nuclear program and on the export of most major conventional weapons. From the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action adoption day on October 18, 2015, the provisions related to restriction on the export from and transfer to Iran of conventional weapons or related goods and services allowed supply of major arms related components and services with the specific approval from the Security Council. On December 31st, 2020, the Iran Human Rights Action Regulation of 2019 came into force with the aim to ensure that financial, trade and immigration sanctions weigh on Iran to continue to operate effectively. So the UK did send a couple weapons to Iran. Yeah, bro, let them get their money, you know. That's what I say. The UK needs money right now.
Because there are no casualties, as long as we're talking about military
targets. They should really be sending those weapons. But Iran don't really need them because they got North Korea, China, and North Korea, Russia, and I think it was China, yeah.
And as long as the damage is not extensive, that could be the de-escalation. That is pretty much what this Financial Times article was reporting before the attack took place, and that's kind of how everything unfolded. So we're going to kind of wait and see now what Netanyahu and what Israel does. But this whole affair really reminds me of everything that happened with Soleimani. And here's what I posted on Twitter X and on Locals. Reminds me of the Soleimani affair. Iran launched ballistic missiles at the Al-Assad air base in Iraq in response to the assassination of Soleimani by a U.S. drone. This was in early 2020, I believe. Iran informed the Iraqi government of an imminent attack beforehand. Switzerland was relaying messages between U.S. and Iran before the strike. The strike was deliberately designed to avoid causing any fatalities in order to dissuade a U.S. response. Iran got its big retaliation and strike on a U.S. airbase, and Trump continued to say he took out Soleimani. Escalation, war was averted. And an article from Reuters at the time had the title, Swiss deliver U.S. message to Iran over Soleimani killing. In this article, Reuters talks about how Switzerland, very much like Oman in this instance, Switzerland back then was the go-between. The United States and Iran, and Switzerland was relaying messages between the two countries. And Iran was going to attack a U.S. airbase.
How come Switzerland stopped
the U.S.
doing
airbase was going to be
mediation?
Evacuated so as to avoid any casualties, and that was a de-escalation. And Trump was able to go around and say that he took out Soleimani, and Iran was able to celebrate a big attack on a U.S. airbase. And that was pretty much the off-ramp to the entire Soleimani killing, which, from what I understand, it was Pompeo that kind of orchestrated the whole thing. That's my understanding of the events. that unfolded with Soleimani. I could be wrong about that, but I remember that incident, and I remember the off ramp. The Trump White House with Switzerland, liaising with Iran, talking with Iran, and that's how they got the off ramp. This one's a lot more complicated because it's the Biden White House going through, at least if you go off of the Financial Times reporting, or the Financial Times hints as to what is going on, because they're hinting at what's going on. It's the Biden White House through Oman speaking with Iran, and then the Biden White House has to then go to Israel as well, and all of this calibration, as the Financial Times puts it, has to take place in order to avoid a wider war. And then you run into the big question, which I mentioned earlier: what does Israel do? Does Netanyahu continue to go along with this narrative, this calibration, or does he break with the Biden White House? And does he strike out against Iran? Does he retaliate against Iran's retaliation? Some members, hardliners in Netanyahu's administration.
But Netanyahu was bare thanking his allies, so I don't think he would want to double cross his allies right now. Even though Israel kind of does what the fuck they want to do, I don't think that would be a smart move. What the fuck do I know? If he double crosses the US, what would the response be from Biden's side? I don't know.
Already saying that a strike or retaliation is going to be planned in the next 48 hours by Israel towards Iran. But there are other people in Netanyahu's administration that are signaling that they were victorious. They took down 99% of everything Iran threw at them, and this was a victory, a show of strength from Israel, a show that something that showcasing Israel's defenses, and also showcasing the U.S. Air defense systems. I guess the Patriots. So the military-industrial complex can now go off and sell some more Patriots, I guess. But what does Israel do? What does Netanyahu do? Does he go along with this, or does he decide to test the Biden White House? And when I mean test the Biden White House, I mean that the Biden White House, they have given the Netanyahu administration a blank check to do whatever it wants. And the Biden White House has said on many occasions now that their support of Israel is ironclad. That's the new buzzword, ironclad. And so you have kind of mixed messages going on here. The Biden White House is trying to get Israel to call it a day. Iran got their retaliation. They can go off and celebrate, and that's what's happening in Tehran. They're celebrating this strike on Israel. Israel can say that they won out. Their defenses held strong. They knocked down 99% of everything that Iran threw at them, and they can leave everything there. That could be the end of this, and that's what the Biden White House is trying to get Israel to do, trying to get Netanyahu to do. And the Biden White House, they have even come out with statements saying that they will not they will not go along with a war against Iran. That is what the Biden White House has said. They will not go to war.
I mean, he kind of has to say that anyway, because he's he's losing the people's support. He's been losing it for years, since he's been elected, since he's been going downhill. He also said that Trump was going to start a war in Iran. So if now he turns around and right before the election, he goes and gives the green light on Iran, I don't think that would be good for his whole party.
With Iran.
Wait, this video is 40 minutes long.
That's an official public statement. And the way I see it, even though publicly you are now on record saying that the U.S. will not go to war with Iran, I'm going to call you out.
And then they're probably going to do the exact opposite. So they're putting the thing out there for the people to read and then use the propaganda. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna do nothing. Like, we're just gonna be level-headed about it and shit. And then, bow! People are gonna be like, what the fuck?
On that statement, maybe you could say call you out on that bluff, but let's just say call you out on that statement, and see if it holds. Because Netanyahu may calculate that if I do launch an attack against Iran, the Biden White House will have to come to my aid, to my support, to give me support. Israel can't do this on their own. They can't go to war with Iran on their own. They're going to need the United States. They need to draw the United States into this war. And maybe Netanyahu is going to calculate that, Biden is saying that he's not going to go to war with Iran.
Good for the USA. Don't try to drag the UK in your bullshit, fam.
Oh, gosh. If I do escalate with Iran, I know that Biden's going to fold. He's going to go back on this statement. And he is going to come to my aid. So, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what Netanyahu's next move is going to be. If this was any other time during Biden's presidency, then Biden would be all in as far as a war with Iran goes. Because Biden is also a neocon, and he also wants a war with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So if this was any other time in Biden's presidency, we would have a huge war. But because this is a re-election, we're in the middle of a campaign, and Jake Sullivan, who does run Biden's foreign policy, he is the foreign policy president of the United States. He is a campaign manager. That's what he does. He's a campaign guy. Jake Sullivan, I believe, is trying to de-escalate this. He knows that the Biden re-election would not be able to sustain a war with Iran. Biden would get crushed if Israel can call this a success. They successfully defended. Iran can go and call this a success. They successfully retaliated, and this whole thing could be over.
Could be. Keyword.
But we don't know. We don't know if Netanyahu is going to test. And then Netanyahu would have to think very long and hard about escalating with Iran, because without the United States, he would not be able to do it.
This is a good-looking park. What
so
country is
with
this?
good diplomacy and good messaging,
It's Greece.
The Biden White House can get out of this mess, and then this whole thing could be over. But we're talking about the Biden White House, and their messaging has not been good. It's been mixed messaging. On the one hand, they're saying that their support for Israel is ironclad. On the other hand, they are saying that they will not get into a war with Iran. I'm actually looking for the title from Yahoo. The U.S. will not participate in offensive operations against Iran, U.S. official says. CNN, Biden tells Netanyahu tonight was a win. Nothing of value hit in Israel, U.S. officials says. Financial Times, Western diplomats said Israel might be able to tolerate an attack that only did some physical damage to military facilities.
Is that a
Interesting
bluff?
titles, huh?
Is that a bluff?
Titles. Let me read you a tweet that I put out on.
Now that you
all of
mentioned
this,
that, I'm
which
thinking
sums everything up. Iran's side.
In times
Iran is
of
celebrating
war,
a
you
successful
in
retaliation.
times of war, you can never take people's words for gospel. So this is why I'm thinking, could it be a bluff? Because in times of war, all eyes are fucking watching. So they don't want to let people know their next move. So they might be saying, raw, like, sorry, I'm crossing my legs. It's a bit hard to get comfy on this chair. So they might be saying, raw, like, let's just say we're not gonna do nothing. So we have plausible deniability in case something does happen. And let's figure out a plan to make something happen without getting our hands dirty. I think this is what the plan is, because they've been trying to go after Iran since before I was born, bro. Since before the Arab Spring, innit? What year was the Arab Spring? Oh yeah. That was way before that. Jeez, that was like Bahraini uprising. No, so much. I've been trying to go after Iran, I think, since the 50s, 60s. I'm saying, bro.
Boys are the most unemployed.
And they responded to the attack on their embassy in Syria. They showcased their military capabilities. They showcased powerful hypersonic missiles. Iran shows it's a force in the region. Iran saves face. Israel's side. CNN, no reports of injuries directly through Iranian attacks. And Israel's military...
I'm going to follow this guy on X as well.
Says 99% of weapons fired by Iran intercepted. And finally, the U.S. assessment is that Iran's attacks had been largely unsuccessful. Israel's air defense is strong. U.S. air defense is strong. MIC sales go up, and Israel saves face.
Hi, my name's Hannah, and I'm here to show you how students can use Otter to make lectures and campus events more accessible and inclusive.
I put out a very long post on this, but that's the situation. That is the situation. One second here. I put up another post. Netanyahu claims success in defeating Iran's attack. Israel win. Punishment of Israel completed. No intention to continue. Tehran. Iran win. Don't mess this one up, Biden. Everyone can walk away from this claiming victory. Don't. Remember Biden yesterday? Don't. Well, my message is don't. Don't mess this one up, Biden. We can easily avoid war here. Very easily avoid war here if the Biden White House sends a clear message to Netanyahu. We will not go to war with Iran, period. Nothing that you do is going to make us go to war with Iran. If that's the message that they sent to Israel, then I think we're in the clear. If that's not the message that Israel is getting, and Netanyahu wants to test Biden, then Netanyahu may very well retaliate and strike at Iran, and the Biden White House is going to have to come to, I would imagine, they're going to, I don't want to say have to, they're going to most likely come to the support of Israel. If the Biden messaging is wobbly, then I think Netanyahu is going to cash in some more blank checks. But if the Biden messaging is very strong and very, very firm, then Netanyahu most likely won't retaliate. To this retaliation, Biden put out a statement on, the Biden White House put out an official statement. Let me pull it up for you here. This is from the White House official readout. Tomorrow, I will convene my fellow G7 leaders to coordinate a united diplomatic response to Iran's brazen attack. The key word is diplomatic, not military. Not military response, diplomatic response. So I imagine that's what the Biden White House is telling Netanyahu. We're going to respond in the form of sanctions. We'll go to the UN, try to get a condemnation of this. I imagine that in the Security Council, China and Russia will veto any condemnation. But anyway, they'll probably go to the UN, and then they'll work the sanctions angle. But the key word in this readout from the Biden White House is diplomatic, a diplomatic response, not a military. So even Netanyahu officials that are saying that they're going to respond in 48 hours, they have a bit of an off-ramp. They can come back in 48 hours and say our response has been sanctions against Iran or something like that. It doesn't have to be a military response.
Hold on. Let's go into
because I think the UN there is no. I'm not saying that Israel will not respond to from the Biden White House.
We have no guarantee on that. We don't know what the fuck these niggas are up to.
Iranian Shahid Kamikaze Ukraine battle map, which says, let me try to read this here. Let's see here. Tonight, Iranian Shahid Kamikaze drones are being fired by Russia at Ukraine. There are no U.S. fighter jets intercepting them or any of the thousands of Shahids launched at Ukraine in this war. Ukraine's fighter jets and air defenses need to intercept Shahids all by themselves. And Lord Bibo, he said, they slowly realized the difference between ally and proxy. And Yeroman said the same thing. He finally realized in his tweet, you finally realized that you are a proxy, Ukraine, and not an ally. That is a very...
Shit, I wasn't paying attention.
Is the difference between ally and Lord Bibo, he said, they slowly realized the difference between ally and proxy. And Yeroman said the same thing. He finally realized in his tweet, you finally realized that you are a proxy, Ukraine, and not an ally. That is a very, very good analysis from those two. It's exactly
good
right.
Distinctions.
Yeah.
Ally, it would do anything to fucking.
Ukraine is a proxy. Ukraine is a proxy.
Proxy.
Israel is.
You might act like you want to hold them, or really you want to use them to your advantage.
A post from Medvedev. What is the difference for Washington between what happened in the Middle East and the events in Ukraine? And I'm taking this from Slaviangrad. America does not want a big war in the Middle East and tries to maintain balance and show restraint. Killings in Gaza worsen Biden's election prospects, and the war between Israel and Iran adds further uncertainty. And the death of our people is indifferent to them. The bigger the better from all sides. After all, this is, as American officials say, an investment, and they continue to invest. That is the post from Medvedev via Slaviangrad. And yeah, that is exactly right. And even in this post, Medvedev is kind of confirming my analysis and Alexander's analysis on what's happening in Israel and between Israel and Iran. For the Biden White House, they're very careful about escalation with Iran. They're very careful about escalation in the Middle East for the United States, for the Biden White House. But when it comes to Ukraine, it's an investment. It is an investment in Ukraine. The killing is an investment in Ukraine.
That makes sense, bro. That actually makes sense because I know like these people had big money. A lot of U.S. officials in the government had big money invested in farming and shit, and agriculture in general in Ukraine. They had big contracts and they also had other investments here and there, but with the proxy, they're able to keep funneling money through that war, and all that money that's being funneled is probably being mishandled. Some people are probably getting cuts and tax because why would you keep investing in something that don't make you money? It's just stupid, isn't it? Especially if it's not an ally, right? Israel's an ally, so maybe you might take some losses for them because you know that if push comes to shove, they will do the same for you type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Israel can't step down if something happened to America. Like they could never. And if they did, that would be the end of the relationship right there. But Ukraine doesn't have the military power to really help anyone in Europe. So let alone think about the US. So really and truly, it's a lose-lose situation for the Ukrainians, but for the people that are investing in that war, it's therefore a win-win. Because they're making Russia look bad, so that's part of the agenda. You want to make Russia look like the bad guy, like America are good, Russia bad. And at the same time, they're funneling money through the war. And they're borrowing money that they have. They will get back. They're borrowing it, so they will get back with interest. So essentially, they're just crippling that country with debt. As well as what do you call it?
I don't like to go.
It's not war funding. It's a warfare. I forgot the word for it, but there's a word for like war funds, and this is what the
war in the Middle East. He is a deal,
bro.
But the timing of it all, during an election, during a re-election for Biden, it's not working out well for him. So that is the post from Medvedev. Ukraine is a proxy. Israel is an ally for the United States. So after J.D. Vance's post op-ed in the New York Times, where he said, do the math, Ukraine cannot win. I talked about this in my video update yesterday. Senator Ron Johnson spoke to Glenn Greenwald, and he also said that Ukraine is a lost cause. And Ron Johnson is a senator, Republican from Wisconsin. U.S. President Joe Biden is dragging out an obviously lost cause in Ukraine because his administration will not admit to its policy failures in trying to weaken Russia, Senator Ron Johnson has claimed. At some point in time, you have to recognize reality, and you have to base your decisions on reality, Johnson said on Thursday in an interview with podcast host Glenn Greenwald. But the Biden administration is not willing to do that. The generals aren't willing to do that because they'd have to admit they've been wrong.
Yes, President Joe Biden is dragging out and obviously lost cause in Ukraine because the administration will not admit to its policy failure in trying to weaken Russia. In them trying to weaken Russia, they've only managed to make them stronger. Could somebody explain that to me? In them trying to weaken Russia through this proxy war, they've only made them more impactful and bigger than they used to be. They probably have more weapons than they used to have. They probably have more conscriptions because they are also they have the right to have a bigger army. Their economy is booming through their trade deals with India, China, and all of the people that are Kazakhstan, Iran, Brazil, you fucking name it, South Africa. So Russia's doing quite well right now, if we'd like to say it. This is a major failure. Ukraine because we're not meant to spirit, but trying to weaken Russia. And at the same time, they've managed to weaken Europe. This is like, if I'm Europe, I'm looking at the US like, you might be the ops, bro. If I'm Europe right now, I'm looking at the US like, you lot are actually the real ops. Because you all the way across the sea, Russia is at our door, really. Ukraine is right there. And you lot are doing a madness over some scamming money, some not scamming, but this lot doing shady business in Ukraine, definitely. Right? Them investments by Biden, Ukraine. You know, Biden, Harris. 200 million clean energy to share from America farms and business part of. Oh no, that's not the one. Oh, what the fuck? Sorry. But in this spring, they just go into investment in the Agri-Ukraine initiative to $350 million they've invested in agriculture, fam. And there's probably more. Ukraine projecting grains are critical to the world's food supply because of they want grains and wheat and flour and all them shits, bro. But it's dumb. It's true that Ukraine has a very fertile land. It's very fertile, which is why you would even invest there. But bro, like, why not investing in countries closer to America? Yeah, back to my point, bro. If I'm Germany, if I'm France, if I'm Austria, if I'm the UK, I'm looking at the US like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Really and truly, them man are coordinated. So at a certain level, I don't know if they fully agree, but they kind of have to back each other, so they kind of seem stronger. But it's kind of a terrible plan. The Nord Stream pipe was blown into oblivion by, I think, the rumors is that either the Germans or the Polish did it. I can't remember. But at first they were trying to say that the Russians blew it. But why would the Russians blew their Nord Stream pipeline to Europe that brought them so much money? And Europe started going through electricity and gas crisis, bro. Prices going through the roof. Obviously, the companies are loving this shit. They're loving this shit. Like they're taxing double the price for electricity, double the price for gas. Even though they had policies to make sure that gas prices on a wholesale level and electricity doesn't get too high, they've still managed to overcharge us for the electricity that we're using. So they make it look like everything is increasing because of Russia, but it did increase at first, and then it stabilized, and then it kind of went back down to not previous level, but very close to level. So let's say you was buying a barrel of petrol for, I don't fucking know, £1. It's just a speculation. So during the war, it might have gone to £1.80. Yeah. And then 6 months to a year later, it was back down to £1.10. So really and truly, the overall price only went up by 10p. But they've gauged the prices. They've increased their prices more than 50 to 100% sometimes. So the prices are double, 150%. I've seen in some stats. So if you was getting your electricity for £1, they sell it for £10, and then they used to get it for £1.80 for okay, you get your electricity for £18, let's say. Now that the electricity is back at £1.10, they're not charging £18, they're charging £28. This is the whole fucking finesse. like the people are suffering from this. It's not fucking the politicians in Europe. It's the fucking people that are working every day trying to pay their bills, bro. And why? Because the US wants to fucking, I don't know if it's just the US, but they're the most vocal ones. They want to make Putin look like, oh, he's gonna colonize the whole of Europe. Like, yeah, we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen it. Ukraine decided to join, to have talks with NATO about joining, when NATO specifically had deals with Russia that said that Ukraine was never to enter talks with NATO about joining. And it's not just Ukraine. I think it was Ukraine, Belarus, there was a few countries that were put on that list, and then eventually they ended up joining NATO. Then, you know, in my mind I was like, okay, I'm watching you closely. Putin was like, I'm watching you closely. I don't like this. I don't mind warring. He said, I don't mind warring over this if this is what you want. But yeah, man. Shit, did I read the rest? At some point in time, you have to recognize reality and you have to base your decision on reality. Johnson said on Thursday in the interview podcast host Glenn Greenwald. But the Biden administration is not willing to
do that because they have to admit
that they've been
wrong.
Yeah, man. Them man haven't caught a win since Vietnam, bro. Them man haven't caught a win since Vietnam. This is nuts. I wasn't even born. Just leave the war alone, bro. Just stop warring. Leave it alone. You're not even good at it, bro. You're not even good at it, bro. Like just allow it, man. The military infrastructure in the US is even lacking. What do you call it? Development. Like some of the tanks are old. Some of the planes are fucking old. Like the whole system is like they're not ready for a hot war. They're not ready for that shit. So it doesn't make sense. They keep antagonizing people. Like, antagonize. If you do this, we do that. And then someone tells them, don't do that. They fucking do it. And they're like, so what? But meanwhile, their guns is rusty. Their bullets are rusty. They haven't been to the range in time. They don't even know if they have good aim. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's not. Some of the cars don't have wheels. Bro. And you're trying to go to war. Like,
and Johnson basically said it.
You're trying to set people up. That's what you're trying to
keep this war going.
Because you know you're getting paid no matter what. The people that are fucking making the policies and making the decision to go to war, they're not gonna be fucking warring. At least when you had generals and some sort of sovereignty or military power that's actually respected that by the people, you would have some of the highest general during the warfare, because then it gives morale to the brigade. It gives morale to the army, because they don't feel themselves abandoned. They're seeing the people that are the highest ranking position in the brigade. They're on the field with them. So it gives you a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, a sense of you're fighting for something. Half of these generals nowadays, they're sitting behind computers. Half of them are not even in shape to be on the battlefield. And they're sending people to go to war. It's like, bro, after a while, no one's going to want to follow you. And your whole shit is going to crumble. Because when you do get attacked, eventually, God forbid, no one's going to want to step in, bro. They're going to be like, you know what? Alright, cool. Let's say it's Iran. They're going to be like, Iran, if you spare us, we'll just leave you alone. We won't mention you. If you spare the citizen, the people that have nothing to do with this, we won't talk bad about you. We won't try to change your country. We can have tourists going to yours. You can have tourists coming here. But for the love of God, do not touch the citizens. You can hit the military. You can hit the CIA. You can hit the FBI. This is what exactly the people are gonna be like. We are not involved in this bullshit.
Which I've been saying, Alexander's been saying, Doran has been saying for almost 2 years now. They're now trying to keep this going at least until after the elections. So yesterday, Ukraine energy officials, they told Ukraine citizens, Ukraine customers, that it's time to start saving on electricity. Ukrainians urged to save power. The country's energy infrastructure has been badly damaged by Russian airstrikes. Saving electricity should become a habit for Ukrainians due to supply constraints resulting from Russian airstrikes on energy infrastructure, according to
This is probably a power
the
cuts,
head
fam.
of Yasno Power Provider. The firm is a subsidiary
Power
of
cuts on power cuts on power cuts, fam. In a cold country as well. This is nuts.
So how can Ukraine fight a war when its energy system has been demolished by Russia? Or is at the mercy of Russia? At any moment, Russia could turn off all the lights in Ukraine. At any moment, they can do it. And they've shown that they can do it. And no air defense systems are going to save them, because even if they put Patriots, even if they get Patriots, which the West doesn't have to give, but let's just say they find some Patriots underneath the sofa cushions, even if they get some Patriot systems, they can't stop a Zircon. They can't stop the hypersonic missiles. Russia has shown that at any point in time, they can turn off all the lights.
You know what? Yeah, I recently started digging into another topic, which is the far right nationalist, not nationalist, the far right Nazi fascist side of Ukraine. I don't really know the full history, which is why I'm still doing research right now, but it was so interesting because they don't talk about this in the mainstream news. They don't tell you about this is not facts, but there is a rumor that Khazarians, people that think that they're related to the Khazars, which was a certain empire that was in middle and in Eastern Europe, Middle Eastern and Eastern Europe and Western Asia, and the rumor is that they're trying to build a holy city in Ukraine, but it just doesn't add up. I think there's more to it than that. I think there's way more to it than that. I've seen images of soldiers converting to Judaism, but even that, can you actually convert? I thought you could only, I've heard of people converting, and I've heard it's a really long and excruciating process. But why would Ukrainian army want to be? I've seen rumors on X. This time I need to do more digging, because some people are saying they might be trying to avoid conscription, because with the Jewish beliefs they might be able to avoid going to war, which could explain that. I don't know if that's true, but it's so interesting that they don't show the fascist side of Ukraine. They show Zelensky. They're like, oh, he's such a good president. He gave away his life for his country. We need to support him. Blah 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 blah. But his country was so fucking corrupt. Not one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. In Eastern Europe. Where the fuck is Ukraine anyways? Eastern Europe, or is it Asia? I don't fucking know.
In Ukraine. So how does Ukraine fight this war in this type of situation?
They're not fighting.
And how is Ukraine going to create this military?
I'm gonna watch one more video after this, and I think I'm gonna call it a day.
Military weapon.
I spent too much time on this Dr. Umar topic, bro.
That's the last year.
This guy distracts my whole
hundreds
flow,
of tanks
bro.
every year
I was gonna
inside
play
of
some
Ukraine.
zombies as well, but hey,
Yeah, how are you going to do that, Mr. CEO of Rheinmetall, without any power?
I ain't doing that.
Oh, we can't really build Germany's too expensive now. So, electricity and stuff. So, I bet you they signed the contracts and the money has been budgeted to Rheinmetall tanks every year inside of Ukraine. Yeah, how are you going to do that, Mr. CEO of Rheinmetall, without any power? I bet you he got the contracts, though. I bet you they signed the contracts and the money has been budgeted to Rheinmetall. And I bet you Rheinmetall, they're just going to go to the German government and they're going to say, well, we can't really build the production facility in Ukraine because, power and stuff, lights, electricity and stuff. So, let's just keep the contract intact, and we'll just build out the tanks and the weapons here in Germany or somewhere else. Maybe Germany's too expensive now. So we'll just build a production facility in China. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Somewhere cheaper. Somewhere cheaper, where the electricity is cheaper, where Russia's delivering gas. Gas at.
For real, we need that Russian gas back, bro. What the fuck?
Anyway.
I'm tired of EDF.
Yeah, so
I'm tired of EDF, man. We need that's electricity. I know, but what the fuck? Gas is like natural gas. What is that for? Oh, it's for the stove and shit like that, yeah, and heating. If you have gas heating, my one is electric heating. It's actually a boiler heater, electric combi boiler. But we need that Russian gas back, bro. Can't lie. The gas we getting right now is no hitting, bro. Last week they sent me a letter saying my gas bill is gonna go up, bro. What the fuck? We need that Russian gas back, bro. We need that Russian gas back ASAP. EDF needs to patent their thing as well, bro. They need to stop stealing electricity from Africa and get a hold of their business, yeah. Because if this is the template that they keep going for, they're gonna lose their shit soon. And who's gonna end up paying for it? Us. So, bro, they need to get a fucking grip. Yeah. And we need to start saving.
Ron Johnson, J.D. Vance, game over. That's what they're saying. Game over. So I imagine more senators, more politicians in the U.S. are going to come out and say the same thing. I hope they come out and say the same thing because as I said in my video,
I can smell food.
yesterday, and as Alexander has said in many videos, Putin administration, they have put on the table the opportunity to negotiate a ceasefire, a deal. It's not going to be pretty for Ukraine. It's not going to be pretty for the collective West, but they have put it out there. Meanwhile, the U.S. is sanctioning Russian metals. On Friday, the U.S. and the U.K. introduced restrictions.
These lot are fucking dumb. Stop fucking restricting all this bullshit. Restricting on trading Russian metals. Nigga, we need metals for plumbing. We need metals for for bombs. We need metals for missiles. What the fuck are they doing? These lot getting ready for war, but they have no fucking resources, and they're banning all the resources that they're using. Like, what the fuck? Where the fuck they gonna get the metal now? Fucking Bulgaria? This is nuts.
Trading Russian aluminum, copper, and nickel. Delivery of
aluminum. We need copper. Copper. Half the. More than half the plumbing in the UK is made of copper. Nickel. What the fuck do you use nickel for? I don't fucking know. Nickel. Is nickel in fucking electrical devices and shit. Aluminum too. Aluminum. Apple uses aluminum a lot. Shit. So what? The phones are gonna go up too. The price of phones are gonna go up too now. Because we're putting restrictions on aluminum, and Apple wants to use aluminum.
Delivery of those commodities of Russian origin to the London Metal Exchange and Chicago Mercantile Exchange has now been prohibited. The U.S. has also banned import.
Bro, I want to strangle these man, bro. What the fuck are they doing? He came up with this plan. He said, yes, let's just... So they said, ban the gas, ban the petrol. Now, no one can afford their fucking bills. Now they're saying ban all the metals. Great. This mic right here probably contains aluminum, bro. Like, this is brass. That's probably iron and aluminum. I don't know. It's probably got brass as well. No. Brass is usually yellow. It's just got a silver finish on there.
Of those metals, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen argued that the move would target the revenue Russia can earn to continue its brutal war against Ukraine. Janet Yellen loves to say that.
Fucking dumb.
Responding
You're
to the
shooting
new
yourself
sanctions
in
on Saturday,
your own
Antonov,
foot, bro.
the ambassador of Russia to the United States, denounced them as another unjustified and politicized step. This decision is not even a shot in the foot, but sort of reckless gunfire, he added. From what I understand, the U.S. does not even deal much with Russian metals. So my
What
guess
about
is
UK?
that this is another way to hurt Europe.
This is what I'm saying. What the bro, US is the ops, bro. The States is the ops, bro. How is the UK even? Rishi Sunak, this is our prime minister. How is he agreeing to this bullshit, fam? How? How? I don't get it. How? Okay, cool. US is not using Russian metals. How about us? My man said, yeah, we're gonna follow suit.
So my guess is that this is another way to hurt Europe. So
The US is playing a nasty game, you know, a nasty game. Under the guises of trying to destabilize Russia, they're actually fucking up the whole Europe. All the countries that depend on Europe as well. All the countries that have business dealings with Europe as well. They're all fucked up. You can't get your right money. You can't get your commission. You can't get your little. You know what I'm saying? Everything's going up. You can get less client. It's just stupid. I just don't see. Maybe someone can educate me on the extreme or something, but I don't. So if you want to educate me on some of these moves, maybe you think they're useful or not. Next stream, or like something you can join, or send me a DM on Instagram or something. But I don't see how this is Shit, my girl just left to get something. I didn't even hear her leave. But yeah, the US is playing a dangerous game, bro. They're trying to fuck up Europe. They're trying to fuck up South America. Fuck up the Caribbean. Fuck up Haiti. And then they're like, oh, we're the big guys. Guys, we're the big dons. Follow us. Democracy. We know best. Go sell some eggs, fam. Apparently they added some new lights outside my house. I haven't been out at night yet, so I haven't seen them, but that's actually that's a good move. That's a good move. Let's go back to this.
There's my parakeet friend. How you doing, buddy?
Is that a parrot?
Right, say hello to everyone. Say hello to the world, Mr. Parakeet.
That's a parakeet. What the fuck? In nature like that? It's something you would not see in London.
I always get excited when I see the parakeets coming out. I miss them.
What countries?
What was I saying? What was I saying? This is a way to...
I'll get excited over a bird like that, bro, for real.
If the US and the UK are sanctioning metals...
A real bird, by the way. I'm not talking about... I'm not talking in codes.
414 sanctions package, and this is just another way to hurt Europe. So Janet Yellen, she's not really looking to hurt.
They want to hurt Europe. Even if this fucking Nord pipe bombing, I know the US was behind it. They didn't do it. I don't think they did it themselves. But they were definitely working with the people that blew that up. And who did I help? Not us. So I don't understand why Europe is still following the US, bro. These lot are dumb. I don't know if they get money from there. I don't know what funding, subvention. I don't know what they're getting from over the pond. But bro, you lot have no I'll say it again for the second time. This is not the same topic, but this is the same set. You guys have no fucking spine. Your spine is made out of jelly. How are you gonna listen to the US and hurt your own fucking people? Eh? This is the same. This is the same shit with most of the presidents in Africa. It's like you're making decisions with outsiders that will benefit you, but will hurt the whole country. Great. And you want us to call you a great leader. If a great leader was only good at was only defined by how much money he makes, all of these men will be great leaders. They'll be the best leaders on earth.
The Russian economy. I think Janet Yellen is looking to hurt the European economy.
We was worried about China. Oh, China's economy is falling after COVID. Oh, Russia, are they gonna get back on their feet after the war? Oh, India is not looking too good. The BRICS are not as bad as they say they are. Look, he's laughing at us now. Who the fuck is laughing at us now?
That's right. Keep Russia out, keep America in, and keep Germany down. That is the goal of all of this.
Even Germans, you don't have no fucking spine. Oh, sorry, not all Germans. The German government, they have no spine. You guys were responsible for the Nord Stream pipe. You guys were the one that received the gas and then distributed it to us. No fucking spine. Now all the German farmers are protesting. Mad
Let's do one more story, and I kind of have a clown world. Well, you be the judge of this clown world. But let's talk a little bit about...
no fucking spine, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it, because how are you gonna downgrade your own country to uplift another one under the guise that you're getting paid and your family are goods, bro? You are a scammer. You are lower than I don't even know what to call you. You're lower than a prostitute that gets on her knees to give a blowjob. You're even lower than that. You're lower than a fucking cockroach on the floor, bro. I don't even have to look long. February 3rd, 200,000 gather across Germany later protest against far right. Fuck, I think there's. Here we go. It's the wrong ops. Ops is not the far right. The ops is the people that are fucking the system. Who cares what system they're representing? Oh, they're the far right. Oh, they're the middle right. They're moderate. They're the far left. Who fucking cares? What the fuck are they doing? Who cares, bro? If a brother is far right and the country's doing well, everybody's happy. The fuck do I care if he's far right? The fuck? If I took to the street, the German side was in the capital Berlin as nation protests against the far right alternative for Germany departing into their 4th week. Polish shut down Palestine conference in Germany. President Berlin against Germany's far right. So it gets opposition to the genocide in Gaza. That's the far right. Mass deportation, sorry. I see what the farm is. Far right sides. Far right groups. Bro, this is not. Everything is far right nowadays. Everything is far right. Nazis. Everything is that, bro. It's just tiring, bro. Just call people by their names. He's a fucking twat and he's a fucking retarded leader. How about you say that? No, he's far right. What the fuck does that mean? What did he do? Oh no, he's just far right. But why? What did he do? He's just a Nazi. You shouldn't listen to him. Okay. I guess you're right.
Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó, who spoke out against the Olympics and their discrimination towards Russia. Olympic restrictions humiliating for Russians, EU states. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó. He said at...
Hungary is based, bro. That man is spitting, bro. This is meant to be an event to reunite we know about the shady business behind there, but the message of the event is to give a sense of unity with the nation through sports, and maybe through sports we can forget about our differences, compete amicably, sorry, and have a good time and showcase our talents in every country. But nah, Russians don't get that right, I guess.
A sporting
Russians are, I guess if you're born in Russia, you're born with horns. If you're born in Russia, every baby in Russia is born with horns. Every single baby in Russia, when they're born, they have horns. If you listen to the news, this is exactly how you think.
That the Olympics are too political. That is what Seattle said. They shouldn't be political. Politics should be left out of sporting events, out of the Olympic Games. And he said that it's not right what the Olympics are doing to Russian athletes.
It's
not
dumb,
right at all.
bro. It's not. It's
humiliating.
rude, bro.
The goal shouldn't be to humiliate athletes. Politics should be out of the Olympics.
Is it the athletes warring the Ukrainians? Is it the athletes sending? It's not them, bro. It's just dumb, bro. Why you?
Peter Siafto, good on you for speaking out against the Olympics.
Facts.
We must support the Friendship Games, which I believe is taking place in
France
in September.
Paris.
Anyway, let's do a clown world and we will wrap.
And by the way, Paris. Eh, vous les Français. So I just said so different. Paris, you guys are not ready to host the Olympics. You guys, I'm looking at you right now. If you live in Paris, your city is not ready for the Olympics. If you live outside of France and you're planning, this is for everyone out there. If you live outside of France and you're planning to go to Paris for the Olympics, get ready for something hectic that you've never seen before. I can't tell the future. I don't know what's gonna happen in September, but me using my common sense and my critical thinking and my experience, because I've been to Paris many times, and I've done research about the topic for the past few months. Paris is not ready to host the Olympics. They're not ready. This is gonna be one of the biggest fiascos on earth. This is gonna be the biggest mess ever. They were trying to make fun of Beijing when it was their turn to host the Olympics. And the Chinese, they're behind. Their infrastructure is not ready. Their culture doesn't allow them to get ready in time. They've kicked people out of their houses. This is what the Europe and the US was saying about China when they were hosting the Olympics. I remember, I wasn't that much young. I wasn't that young. I was a kid, but I still remember. It was kind of racist. I can't lie. It was like, China, Olympics in China. What's gonna happen? Is it even gonna be up to the standards? Are we gonna sleep in tents on the floor? This was the talks. But France, Paris, this is exactly what's gonna happen. When you go to the Olympics in September, whoever you are, film it, and I'll be reporting. Actually, I'll be following the whole thing. This is gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess. I don't even wish it. I hope it goes well. But from what I've seen,
this video up, kind of a clown world. But let's see. Janusz Varoufakis. Germany's Interior Ministry has issued a Betagungsverbot. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. A Betagungsverbot against me, a ban on any political activity, not just a ban on visiting Germany, but also from participation via Zoom. Here is the speech whose publication caused this ban. Judge for yourselves.
Wait, what? This is what I mean by German. You guys have no spine. You guys are a bunch of sellouts, bro. You guys do not care for humanity. You do not care for nothing at all but yourselves. The people at the government, the people that are in government in Germany. Sorry, not the Germans themselves. I'm pretty sure German people are quite smart and they know what's going on. At least a lot of them. You're banned from their country. Okay, fair enough. Not fair enough, but okay, your country, you do what the fuck you want to do. You banned me from joining a Zoom meeting. You banning me from joining a Zoom meeting. Is this the world we live in? Recently, I've just read that in Scotland, you can go to jail for a tweet. I'm sorry, this dystopian world is getting too funny. Ironically, not in a way where it's actually funny. In Scotland, there's laws that said, I don't know, if you commit a hate crime on Twitter, I don't even know what that would entail. If you call someone a bad name on Twitter, I guess, and you offend their feeling, or like if you cuss someone too hard on Twitter, or if you swear at someone too loud on Twitter, or if you say something that the Scottish government deemed threatening to the government, they will put you in jail. So goodbye free speech. And now Germany is, well, they have a track record of banning people from their country that they disagree with, i.e. David Icke. But now they're banning this journalist and telling them you can't join a Zoom meeting. This is the definition of Nazi. Like, how you can't join? I can't join a Zoom meeting with some of your citizens in your country. Why?
Includes the speech in this post.
Putin could probably join a Zoom meeting in Germany, but this guy can't. I'm saying
This
I
is
don't
not
know
right.
for sure. But
I don't know Yanis Varoufakis. Never met him. I know of him, obviously, but I've never met him. But what they're doing to him, what Germany is doing to him, is not right. This is not right at all. This is a clown world on Germany, actually. And Germany's losing the plot, man. Germany is just losing it.
Europe is an L, fam.
Europe is because of a speech he made. And then Germany's going to lecture the world on freedom and human rights and values and stuff like that. Really? Really, Germany? Is that what you're going to do? Not right at all. I do not agree with this. Let's hope that Germany comes to its senses and removes this ban on Varoufakis. But I doubt it. All right, everybody. That is the video. The Doran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, and Rockfin.
BitChute. That's my shit. Anyway.
And go to the Doran shop.
That's the little parakeet.
Edition merch in
Parakeet.
the description box down below.
So we've done I had an article to read, but fuck
Take
that.
care.
I don't think we're gonna get to that. We done Iran, Ukraine. What's this one?
Riverside is a platform most well known for podcasting. However, from the perspective of a filmmaker, it just keeps manifesting.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to bring in our first guest.
We've done the run. We've done the Dr. Umar thing. We're not gonna talk about that right now. Disability, the vaccine business. We're not gonna do that right now. It's gonna take a while for me to get into those. Oh shit! There's another video here that I wanted to. Oh, it's too many. You know what? I wanted to do this is the Ukraine stuff, right? This is the Ukraine video.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he wants to be shouted out, but shout out David Allen as well for sending. Did I say his last name? Shout out David. Let's resist David for sending me a couple of them links and for me to watch and react to right now. He's a really good, diligent soldier, and he sends me articles and links pretty much all day, and I thought I could take advantage of that and react to some of them on stream because
Lee
it's
Fong
so
is an
interesting.
award-winning investigative journalist who has written for The Intercept, The Nation, Think Progress, and Republic Report. He currently publishes his
Hold on, he just sent me another video right now.
We are
He
being
literally
naive,
just emailed me a
not
video now.
at least publicly entertaining the possibility that our antagonists abroad would take advantage.
Wait, hold on. This video
of
is 3
things
hours?
like security, and
God
see why
damn!
we have to talk about genocide. Somebody
video is
has
3
to open
hours?
these topics if we are to get.
Shout out Brett Weinstein. He's kind of cool. I like his I like some of his takes sometimes, even though it's a bit wishy-washy sometimes, but it comes like he doesn't stand on something, but he's a good vocalizer of issues that are important.
Ask them.
But 3 hours
haunt our future.
Why has it become a meme to say that America is collapsing like the Roman Empire? Growth has petered out. We borrowed from the future. We can't do that anymore. And now we're getting tribal.
Yes, but I don't believe that it is hopeless. If I'm honest, I believe we will probably screw it up, and it will become inevitable.
Lovely.
Yeah, but there's a reason that I'm taking the risks that I am to talk about these things in public, which is I believe we still have
a window of
potential
time
to rescue Western civilization, and probably, if I'm honest about it, to present a 2.0 version that is capable of dealing with the novelty that the 1.0 version is straining under. The key
okay, yeah.
thing
Next
human beings.
Next stream, we need to get into this video. This is a 3-hour video, so I'm not gonna do that right now, but I'm gonna save that for the next stream. I usually email myself these links. I'm just gonna type stream topic. This is what I was gonna say Harvey. This is Brett Weinstein on collapse of America plus more. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna put it down. This is a 3-hour long video, by the way. It's 3 hour long, so I know to get prepared. You know what I'm saying? Just gonna email that to myself real quick, so I have it for the next show. I have another topic about the dome, the Israel dome.
Because the failure of growth is not an economic fact. It's a fact of resource scarcity, and it has applied to all of our ancestors for 3.5 billion years. So it's not that growth didn't get invented in a modern economic context. Economics formalized an understanding of something that is as primal as anything else. What must be true in order for us not to descend into this other phase, the phase where musical chairs, the music stops and there are way too few chairs, in which blood is thicker than water, and that's the rule that governs the day. The way to avoid that fate is to A, recognize that it predicts a great deal about the noises people will make as it's happening. So I'm watching the shocking rise in anti-Semitism, and I'm thinking, it's right on time.
Why?
Because when I did my work back in college about Hitler as a rational monster, I understood that the targeting of Jews was a predictable phenomenon. That Jews, because they live as a diaspora, and because they succeed as a diaspora, are an obvious target when the music stops. You can transfer.
Get very concrete about that. Why does being in diaspora, which for people that aren't familiar with that, you're an outside group living in another country. So people often refer to the Chinese as being part of a diaspora because they have a strong sense of the homeland, but yet they may live somewhere else.
Yep. So let's say you've got a population and it's industrious and capable for whatever reason. I would argue that those reasons are largely cultural, maybe entirely so. But it accumulates some wealth, it achieves some position in society, and then the racist impulses return. And one way that you can generate growth for a population is to come up with an excuse to transfer the wealth of another population. So the obvious thing to do is to say, well, geez, the reason that Germany lost World War I was the Jewish fifth column. The sorry
fam,
state of Germany
facts.
today
Dude, this-
is the result of
Get
being
into-
stabbed
oh,
in the
shit!
back by these people. I mean, maybe they shouldn't even be called people. Maybe they're vermin. They're disease. They're disgusting.
Shit, this shit
right?
was
Just gotta
playing.
make-
I didn't even deep it. Hold on. Let me go back to this. Is the
He had to
one.
work on his
I need to
Substack
get.
newsletter, which you can subscribe to at leafong.com. Hey, Lee, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So you wrote this article. This is interesting because I'm involved in it.
I shout out Jimmy Dawes. Jimmy Dawes doing a good work. He's doing the Lord's work on YouTube. Not afraid to break certain stories, to talk to certain people, and ask certain questions. Need more people like that for sure.
Smearing pro-peace voices. And so what's going on is, well, here's America is funding, taxpayer dollars are funding these pro-war outlets. One of them is Vox Ukraine. And Vox Ukraine did a bunch of these videos. I'm in one of them. Look, there it is.
Wait, American citizens are paying for
There's,
this shit.
Russell Brand.
Wait, they're making videos. Wait, America is taking our money.
That's the ex-CIA guy.
To fucking do what?
Anyway, they're doing
to make hit piece propaganda videos in Ukrainian about our freedom fighters, our people that have bollocks and spine. This is nuts. This is what they're doing with the money. This is a scam. This is funneling. This is money laundering. What the fuck is this?
a bunch of them. So you wrote an article about this. U.S. taxpayers' dollars are flowing to outlets such as New Voice of Ukraine, Vox Ukraine, Detector Media, the Institute of Massive...
Why the fuck are we paying for Ukrainian media infrastructure? This makes no fucking sense. Why are we paying... Why are we... Why is the Ukrainian media a subsidy of the fucking U.S. government? It makes no
the Public
sense.
Broadcasting Company of Ukraine, and many others. Some of this money's come from the 44.1 billion in civilian needs foreign aid committed to Ukraine. So now here's a little bit of the video they did on me. I'll just play a little bit of it.
They did a video on Jimmy.
Американський стендап-комік.
So I liked how she says my name. Jimmy Dor. But she's saying that.
Jimmy Dor.
First of all, she says here, if you read, I have it translated. It says Jimmy Dore. You can turn her down for a second. Jimmy Dore is a stand-up comedian, political commentator, podcaster, and simply a conspiracy theorist.
A conspiracy theorist.
Believes in conspiracy theories and tends to believe that behind events or situations there are hidden motives that may not be apparent.
That's exactly what critical thinking and being smart means.
Or obvious to others. Yeah, that's called life. That's called it's hilarious. That is the most favorable definition of a conspiracy theorist I've ever heard in my life. That's exactly what we do here. We find the
Thank you
the
for the
hidden
compliment.
motives. We get to what's really happening. You know, when they tell you.
No, when someone calls you a conspiracy theorist, it's low-key a compliment. I can't lie. Call me conspiracy theorist. I'm the biggest conspiracy theorist in the UK, actually. That is the best compliment you can ever get in 2024.
That it's safe and effective, we actually look into it. When they tell you that, we're going to bomb Iraq because they have weapons of mass destruction, we actually look into that. Turns out that was a big conspiracy. So here's what they say. And then they try to discredit me by saying that I talked about microchips and vaccines against the coronavirus. And I never did that. And the reason why they don't show that clip is because I never did that. What I did show is that the head of Pfizer said they are putting their own microchips in pills that they are giving people. And he said, imagine the compliance. That's what really caught my eye. They're giving people. And the head of Pfizer said they are putting their own microchips.
Wait, what? I don't want fact checkers, bro. Fact check can suck a dick. I just want to see the video in its original context. Just show me that, right? I don't want to see your propaganda of fucking fact checkers, bro. He's even checking those facts.
2018 clip of Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla made the rounds on Twitter this weekend for his explanation
that it is in
monitor patient compliance. Watch this.
It is basically biological chip that it is in the tablet, and once you take the tablet and dissolves into your stomach, sends a signal that you took the tablet. So imagine the applications of that, compliance. The insurance companies to know that the medicines that patients should take, they do take them. It is fascinating what happens in this.
Did he say a biological chip? This is nuts. I don't need that shit. Okay, let's say you work in care. Someone is responsible for administrating medicine, right? And when they don't have all their faculties and any help, when they can't, I mean when they can, when they have do you have the faculty to take their own medication, then they're left to their own devices and they're trusted as adults to take their own medication. The medical department, the big pharma, whatever it is, NHS, doesn't have the right to track if someone is taking their pills through their fucking belly by putting a chip in the pill. No one has, they don't have the right to say, because we want to see if you're actually taking your meds, properly, we're gonna install a chip so that you can swallow it, and then when it reaches your stomach, the pharmacy or the hospital is gonna know that you took the pill. What kind of fuckery is that? Even kids, you don't need that type of oversight over their body, over your own kids. Why would you do that to humans, like normal citizens? You want to track if they're
filled.
Well, it wasn't long before the mainstream media put out some kind of fact check. USA Today notes, well, that was talking about a schizophrenia pill and accused vaccine skeptics of
I don't fucking care if it's a what do you call it? A schizophrenia pill, a ADHD pill, a COVID pill, a losing weight pill. I don't care what type of fucking pill it is. Don't fucking put a chip in it. Who cares if it's a schizophrenia pill? I don't give a shit.
Resurrecting the video, wrongly suggesting his comments were made more recently.
How is that making any better?
So we want to show you the actual question Bourla was asked before he gave his response, because it really had nothing to do with schizophrenia.
Other questions? See one right there?
Hi there, Human Hakimi. I run the diabetes group for Medtronic. I have a question about patient engagement, and you had touched on this before. All of these advances are amazing, but even if you make the greatest drug or the greatest wearable, there's no guarantee that the patient is going to take the drug, wear the device. So how are you thinking about technology to engage the patient?
Again, maybe I will use an example. I think it's fascinating what's happening in this field right now. I mean, FDA approved the first electronic pill, if I can call it like that.
And so that presumably.
So it doesn't even have to do with schizophrenia. This is why. I said this a second ago. This is why I don't check fact checkers, because them man are just a bunch of fucking liars lying through their teeth, so you can believe what they're saying. They don't even have to do with schizophrenia, and the fact checkers are here telling you, this is the fact. How can a fact be wrong?
Medication. So what they mean by compliance is, are you complying with the regimen? You know,
right.
Take 3 of them.
And I guess if your recommended dose is 3 pills a day, and the person know that the pills is chipped and it's electric, then they have no other choice than to take the fucking pills, because the NHS will know if they didn't take it. And then, bro, if it's let's say it's a mental health treatment, and let's say it's severe enough that if you don't take your medicine, you can be admitted into hospital and then put into a mental facility. The minute the hospital figures out that you haven't took your 3 pills today, you're going back to that medical cell. This is nuts.
Take one in the morning, take one at lunch, take one before bed. Are you complying with that? Because if you're not, then it doesn't work like it's intended to. So that's what they mean by compliance. However, deeply weird. From just a human perspective, to start thinking you're going to ingest a chip.
I mean, the Steelman case here would be that, I mean, we do have a problem.
Yes.
Much of the homeless problem in a lot of cities is schizophrenic people who need antipsychotic medication, who, when they're on antipsychotic
some of them are
medication,
they're
are
just
not
high.
public hazards.
What do you mean they're not all schizophrenic?
Where they're not taking
they're
it.
high as
And
fuck.
It is currently, since the 70s, since the changes to how these laws work, it's hard to force people to take.
Okay. That's not the topic. We wasn't talking about this.
In pills that they are giving people, and he said, imagine the compliance. That's what really caught my eye. But anyway, and so they're saying we distorted him saying that. Well, we didn't. So this is the kind of stuff. Another conspiracy theory promoted by Doran. First of all, Doran with one R. That's a different R. That's a different comedian. This is a guy out of Boston or something like that. He's big on conspiracy theorists, the other Jimmy Doran. I only deal in conspiracy facts. So here we go. The Syrian government did not attack with chemical weapons the opposition-held city of King Shakun in Syria, where a large number of civilians died. But so they're still pushing that lie that Assad gassed his own people. So these are this is the propaganda that U.S. taxpayers' money is being used for, right? They're sending it to Vox, that garbage news outlet. Now it's Vox Ukraine. And
this is what Ukrainians are gonna be watching on YouTube. There's no way Ukrainians are actually watching this shit. This is like watching Fox News or CNN. No normal person is going to YouTube to watch Fox News and CNN unless you're doing a hit piece on it or reacting to it.
It goes on, but at least they got an attractive lady to say it. And I think she's showing a little cleavage, which is nice. While the funding is officially billed as an ambitious program to develop high-quality independent news programs, counter malign Russian influence, and modernize Ukraine's archaic media laws, the news sites, in many cases, have promoted aggressive messages that stray from traditional journalistic practices to promote the Ukrainian government's official positions and delegitimize its critics. So that's exactly what your taxpayers are being used for. Vox Ukraine has released highly produced videos attacking the credibility of American opposition voices, including Jeffrey Sachs, Mersheimer, and Glenn Greenwald. Detector Media, one of the most influential media watchdog groups, similarly produces a flow of social media and posts branding American critics of the war as part of a Russian disinformation. That's what everybody does. And not only Vox Ukraine, but, everybody from Vox Ukraine to Joe Biden to Ro Khanna. Anybody who says the truth about what's happening in Ukraine, they say it's Russian disinformation, you're working for the Russians. Just like if you question weapons of mass destruction.
Wait, is that what they're going to say about these streams? They're going to say, I work for the Russians. That would be hilarious. Oh my days. Imagine this is Doran works for the Russians. That would be the funniest shit on earth. Oh my days. Oh my gosh. Is this
they
what
said
they
you
say
were
about people
working for Assad. Same thing with
actually looking into this shit.
Be same thing with
saying what's what.
Syria. It never stops. And so this is the exact same thing they're doing. But the thing is, you're paying for it. It's not only dissident voices targeted by the USAID funded groups. Detector Media went after the New York Times after a news report about hundreds of Ukrainians in the Battle of Avdiivka who were captured or missing. The Ukrainian fact-check site offered little in terms of rebuttal. So they didn't have any facts to give you. What did they do? They just labeled it as disinformation. The New Voice of Ukraine quoted a Ukrainian official describing the Times story as a Russian psyop. That's all they do. But here's even more. The New Voice of Ukraine syndicates with Yahoo News. Vox Ukraine is a fact-checking partner with Meta. That's Facebook. So now you know.
Hold on. So the people that are lying through their teeth about events that we can fact check and history that we can read and figure out that they're chatting shit and they're lying, they are the people that are partnered with Meta and Facebook to fact check us. The irony is through the roof. It's like saying you're gonna hire a hacker to secure your laptop. It's like saying you're gonna hire someone that hacks computers every day to help you do cyber security on your computer. I don't know if that's a good example, but it's similar enough. It's like you're gonna hire the person that has no shoes, that don't know how to make shoes, and has no money for shoes, but says that they have all the shoes in the world and they can make any shoes. And you're gonna hire them to make shoes for you or for the community. It's like, what the fuck? It's like he there's no proof that this guy actually makes shoes, but you're gonna hire him to make shoes for the whole village. What?
Why all my old Hollywood friends hate me, because they go on Facebook and they see my videos up on Facebook that are accurate, and then Meta teams up with a propaganda firm like this or a Bill Gates funded propaganda fact.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so we have community notes, so the community can actually fact check people. Because I hope that's how it works. Because I don't want to see no fact checkers on X, especially not Vox Ukraine.
Organization, or somebody like Snopes, who the head of Snopes had to resign because he got caught being a serial plagiarist, and then they say I'm spreading misinformation, but of course that's just propaganda, and then so that's there to discredit me, and it works with a lot of people, not everybody, thank God. Detector Media has similarly led a consortium of nonprofit groups pressuring social media platforms to aggressively remove content critical. So that's what they do. So
what if I say fuck Ukraine? I can't say that. They have to remove content critical of Ukraine. How about I say Ukraine is a corrupt country? How about Ukraine can't even defend themselves from Russia? How about they're not ready for this war? Are they gonna say like, oh, I'm a Russian spy or some shit? Look at my face, bro. Like, it's like me. Oh my god, this is nuts.
A couple of videos taken down on YouTube. Facebook has demonetized me. They banned everything except completely kicked
So if I say I don't like Ukraine, it's like, oh my days, he's bad. He's bad.
Facebook. Congress is now weighing a new supplemental funding measure with approximately $60 billion earmarked for the war in Ukraine. A small portion of the emergency spending package is devoted to continued USAID programming in the country, but far less. So here's another thing. They always talk about how Russia is shutting down their journalists, but what gets less attention is how the Ukraine government's crackdown on its independent and opposition media, a push aided by the U.S.-backed network of anti-disinformation groups. Even as Washington's efforts to censor information at home is drawing greater scrutiny, its support of Ukraine's effort reflects the increasingly global reach of the American government's propaganda arms. So get this. So what do they consider what do they consider what is disinformation or misinformation, and they want to pressure social media to censor it? Well, in response to questions about the U.S.-backed anti-disinformation groups in Ukraine targeting Americans, the U.S. State Department provided a statement saying it defines disinformation as, quote, false.
Anyway, let's get back into this shit, man.
In response to questions about the U.S.-backed anti-disinformation groups in Ukraine targeting Americans, the U.S. State Department provided a statement saying it defines disinformation as, quote, false or misleading information that is deliberately created or spread with the intent to deceive or mislead. Okay, that almost seems fair. It added, we accept there may be other interpretations or definitions. Oh, really? Wait till you find out what those other ones are. And we do not censor or coerce independent organizations into adopting our definition. The length of the report defines deliberately created definition groups and to censor it. Well, in response to questions about the U.S.-backed anti-disinformation groups in Ukraine targeting Americans, the U.S. State Department provided a statement saying it defines disinformation as, quote, false or misleading information that is deliberately created or spread with the intent to deceive or mislead. Okay, that almost seems fair. It added, we accept there may be other interpretations or definitions. Oh, really? Wait till you find out what those other ones are. And we do not censor or coerce independent organizations into adopting our definition. The length of the report defines disinformation as not only false or misleading content, but also verifiable information, which they say is unbalanced or skewed, amplifies or exaggerates certain elements for effect, or uses emotive or inflammatory language to achieve effects which fit within existing Kremlin narratives, aims, or activities. So in other words,
Bro,
factual information
get an actual job. What the
with
fuck?
emotional language that
Just
simply
making up
overlaps
stuff.
with anything remotely connected to Russian viewpoints is considered disinformation. According to the U.S.-backed consulting firm helping to guide the efforts of Ukrainian think tanks and media. And so let me bring in Lee. Now, Lee, this is
So
quite
these
an article.
jobs,
It's
these
really,
people's
it's a great
jobs is
read.
to
Everybody
lie through their teeth and say that
to check it out. There's a
they're
lot of
telling the
information
truth. Right.
that
Okay.
I don't have time to share on the show. But what is your reaction to learning all this information?
Well, I'm not shocked. I've written about disinformation and these kind of speech wars in the domestic context that oftentimes the U.S. government and powerful interest groups have sought to control the flow of information and discourse by creating NGOs and other third parties or working with academic third parties to create kind of a criteria for disinformation and misinformation, which are very powerful terms now. And through those appendages, they censor dissenting speech, critical speech. They use that kind of to force compliance in the discourse. So in that context, I'm not surprised. But this is interesting because, there is a wider debate here in the West, in the U.S., about the authoritarian nature of Russia, that Russia has cracked down on journalists and independent media. They've arrested journalists. And, that's true. That's a gigantic controversy that I'm concerned with. But there hasn't been scrutiny on these draconian moves by Ukraine, that the Ukrainian government, through President Zelensky, has banned opposition media, has arrested journalists, has really cracked down on free speech and free expression in that country. And as I kind of peel back the layers, looking at USAID and other contracts, it really startled me to see the level of U.S. involvement in this crackdown on free speech and on independent media. And beyond that, there's an additional layer here that you just described, that unlike, there's similar contractors worked for USAID in the reconstruction of Iraq and Afghanistan. We were very involved in making Iraqi newspapers and magazines and websites, and same thing with Afghanistan. But what's unique here is that a lot of the Ukrainian think tanks and media are very influential for shaping the discourse back at home. They're publishing English language content. They're working with Facebook to censor social media, and they're actually affecting potentially American foreign policy because they're going after critics like yourself, like John Mearsheimer, like Glenn Greenwald. These are very prominent voices, some of the only voices that are really critical of the mainstream narrative around NATO, around this U.S. involvement in the war. And so it kind of creates a vicious feedback loop of the American taxpayer money is going to groups that are censoring Americans who are dissidents on this war.
Yeah, that's the amazing part to me, is that these people are the ones who are we're anybody who calls himself a fact checker or a professional fact checker, they're not. Okay, those are just people who are being funded by a billionaire or a government somewhere to lie to you and to squelch the truth, right? So we as I was talking with Russell last night, people like you, people like Glenn Greenwald, the Gray Zone. This show, we're the new what Rolling Stone used to be in the 60s. That's what we are today, right? And so I just want to show a few more examples of what they consider to be misinformation. All you have to do is say that Ukraine is being used as a pawn in a proxy war against Russia. That's considered that will be flagged. They will pressure social media sites to take that down. Ukraine's government has also worked with U.S. government officials and others to censor its American critics. One prominent example, Aaron Mate, friend of the show, Aaron Mate, frequent guest host of the show. He's an independent journalist who has criticized U.S. policy regarding Ukraine in other outlets. So can you tell us what they did with Aaron Mate?
This is incredible. They did quite a lot with Aaron Mate, but one example is that the FBI works very closely with the Ukrainian top intelligence agency, it's SBU, the Secret Service of Ukraine. In the first few weeks of the war, Russia's invasion, the Ukrainian Secret Service forwarded a list of problematic social media accounts of people they accused of being Russian propagandists or involved in Russian disinformation to the FBI, which used its kind of in-house contacts with the major social media firms, including Twitter, to go after even American journalists. One of them was Aaron Mate, who was incredibly credible, very thorough journalist who has really spoken out against the mainstream narrative on a lot of these foreign policy issues. In
fact, Aaron Mate has won awards for his meticulous debunking of American propaganda. The biggest award he got was around Russiagate, and it was, in fact, that's the words they used, his meticulous debunking of Russiagate. So he's thorough, he's accurate. No one's ever been able to say anything Aaron Mate has printed has been incorrect or propaganda. But go ahead.
Well, just in terms of the power dynamic at play here, none of this is transparent. We know this because Twitter changed ownership and we had some leaks. But this is the type of thing that apparently has been going on for a long time, that the FBI has been used as a proxy for various third parties, including the Secret Service of Ukraine, to crack down on its critics, including Americans. Mate, the former head of the Zinc network.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting, bro. This is disgusting work, fam. How can the FBI? It's meant to be working for the American people. At least for their benefit, if it's not directly for them, are being used by Ukrainian Secret Service officers to crack down on Ukrainian narrative that they don't want to hear, and therefore punishing American citizens.
Or a former official with the Zinc network who helped organize these anti-disinformation think tanks and watchdog groups. He's at just a few months after this attempt through the FBI to censor Mate. He was the former official with the Zinc network was speaking at a conference and basically just openly saying that he'd like to censor Mate, that it's irresponsible for YouTube to host journalists like Russell Brand and like Aaron Mate and others. And so most of this is going on underground, behind closed doors, but occasionally they're saying it out in the open.
So when you talk about the Zinc network, let me just show people. Immediately after Russia invaded Ukraine 2 years ago, the USAID dispensed emergency grants to its media partners, partly through this thing called the Zinc network. That's a contractor based in London that has been accused of setting up covert public relation campaigns on behalf of the British government, right? And so you're talking about this guy named Burley. Right, and so
Ross Burley,
yeah, and so he made out in public. He made statements saying that he thinks that media platforms need to be more responsible and take more responsibility regarding what content they allow. And in fact, here's a quote. He said, "Even I saw Russell Brand, who has a huge following on YouTube, was interviewing a journalist called Aaron Mate on his channel." And he said it's incredibly irresponsible for YouTube and other social media companies to continue to host these people. So they want to just shut down U.S.
Who are these bitch-made people, bro? Making these complaints. What a bunch of fucking pussies, bro. What the fuck? These guys like writing letters to YouTube. You hurt my feelings. You shouldn't be on YouTube, bro. Suck a dick, bro. What the fuck? You hurt my feelings. This guy shouldn't be doing interviews on YouTube. He's lying because I said so. These guys are acting like kids, bro. Spineless men are the death of our world.
First of all, any voice, but especially United States journalists that were using U.S. money, and they're just saying it right out in the open. That's kind of the crazy part, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised by this because, what drew me into journalism was the war in Iraq in 2003, seeing how much the traditional media, the legacy media, the big newspapers and broadcast television outlets were in lockstep with the Bush administration and driving the narrative for war. I thought the internet and social media would provide the necessary alternatives to question the foreign policy orthodoxy. In some cases that's true, but in other cases it's not. We've seen this kind of corralling of the internet that most major media relies on 3 or 4 social media platforms, video streaming sites. A lot of those have intricate links with the government, and they've done a very good job at marginalizing and really keeping dissenting views out of the public. And just in terms of how the machinery works, consulting firms like Zinc Network mobilize these networks of NGOs and fact-checking organizations. Zinc Network, funded by the British government, funded by the State Department and U.S. military, they're helping set the discourse. They're working with this huge network of groups that are pressuring the social media platforms to remove dissenting speech and presenting the NATO viewpoint as the only acceptable viewpoint.
Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have just been in there swimming in the Atlantic in or just off the coast of Cork. I'm here.
And we all remember that mental case, Nina Jankowicz. Remember when Biden appointed this? She's going to be his czar of disinformation. And then everybody just took a little peek into her background, and it turned out she's a full-blown mental case. Well, she actually works for the Zinc, for that Burley guy. She's a registered foreign lobbyist for Ross Burley's UK-based Center for Information Resilience. I mean, these are such Orwellian terms. It's amazing. And so, but they're also, these organizations supported by the U.S. government, they're also silencing critics, not only here in the United States, but inside Ukraine, correct?
Yeah, that's right. There's been a lot of changes to media law, a lot of very big policy efforts in Ukraine to silence the opposition over accusations of inappropriate Russian influence or Russian disinformation. Even preceding the current war, in 2021, Zelensky shut down 3 major television channels. He accused them of being...
How come they don't accuse him of being a fucking fascist? He doesn't even want the fucking opposition to be speaking. And they're here upholding this man like he's the second coming of Jesus, bro. Fuck off. What the fuck? Who the fuck is a Zelensky? I don't even know what that is, fam.
Tied to the Russian government, tied to his opposition in parliament, that were too close to the Russian government. This was criticized roundly by independent reporters, even by the UN. The United Nations put out a statement saying there's massive restrictions on free speech and free expression in Ukraine, and some of the most problematic examples were these closures of television channels associated with the political opposition. Well, where does Zelensky find journalistic cover for these types of actions? There are a number of think tanks and watchdog groups and media outlets that are funded by the NED, by U.S. State Department, by USAID, American money, that provide them cover. They put out reports and press statements saying that Zelensky is doing the right thing. This is what all Western governments do. This is important for the fight against disinformation. And continuing through the war, after the war started, there were much more draconian steps. A big law in the end of 2022, the On Media Law, that officially bans hate speech and disinformation, but also gives a board controlled by Zelensky the unilateral power to ban any media, including online media, without a court order. Now, again, independent journalists from around the world criticized this law, but where did Zelensky and the Ukrainian government find cover to say, okay, this is actually supported by civil society and local journalists? Again, it's the same constellation of USAID, American-funded think tanks, media outlets, and watchdog groups. They put out statements, they lobbied the media, they were out in front giving Zelensky cover to pass these laws.
Well, here's another one of those media internews, right, that you've been just talking about, these organizations that give internews as a significant ways, and you have to look it up, and they're all being biased because this guy's a big propagandist, and that's why the people who work for The Intercept currently can't tell you the truth about Russiagate, can't tell you the truth about guy's a big propagandist. And you read the New York Times or Jeff Bezos' Washington Post, you have to read The Intercept the same way. There might be some information in there, but you have to turn it sideways, and you have to look it up, and they're all being biased because this guy's a big propagandist, and that's why the people who work for The Intercept currently can't tell you the truth about Russiagate, can't tell you the truth about Ukraine war, couldn't tell you the truth about Syria, and so here they are back. That's why The Intercept is garbage now, and mostly some good work, but mostly garbage. They're not as good as this show, I'll tell you that.
No, they're not.
Anyway, so they won't do this story, led by billionaire Pierre Omidyar via the Omidyar Network and George Soros via the International Renaissance Foundation. They have financed the network of media and activists working with the USAID groups. And that you talked about this on media law that they passed in Ukraine, which it's, again, we just saw it in Scotland. They're using, so the new thing is to hate speech, right? So in the United States, I explained.
We was just talking about this bullshit about people talking about if you have hate speech on Twitter, you can go to jail for a tweet, bro. This is nuts. I've never seen before.
Unseen. That all they have to do is, because we repealed habeas corpus, or Barack Obama, thank you, and so now all they have to do is say you're a terrorist, and they don't have to give you a speedy trial or even charge you with anything. They can lock you up with indefinite detention. And there's these hate crimes. Now so for instance, you can be called a terrorist if they say you're spreading misinformation. That's considered a cyber terrorist. So now you don't get any rights anymore. Now they can just and now they're doing hate crimes.
This is so absurd. It's not even funny. It's just it's so ridiculous. It's for grown people to have to resort to means like that is just so fucking utter ridiculous, because they could just use their words and debunk what you have to say if it was really debunkable. If they were really adults, they would use their big words and strong voice to tell you A plus B plus C and exactly how you're wrong. But instead, they want to call you a cyber terrorist and put you in jail. Does that make any sense to any? I don't. That makes
so that's the new thing.
No
If they
sense
say
to
that
me.
you're saying something that stirs up bad feelings against a group of what a protected group, that and of course that's all intentionally vague. It's all left up to the interpretation of the government, which gives them a tool to silence and get rid of anybody who's their critic and telling the truth. And that's what the on media law did. And same thing's happening in Ukraine, right? And these are the people pushing that, giving cover for it. And here I just want to show you this. Our last slide. The Columbia Journalism Review has chronicled the precarious situation independent journalists face in today's Ukraine. In January, a pair of thugs went to the home of Yuri Nikolaev, a prominent investigative journalist who has uncovered scandals involving military catering contracts, of all things. The men tried to break down his door, and according to his mother, who was home, called him a provocateur and a traitor. But it's much worse than that. Can you expand on some of that stuff that they're doing to journalists inside Ukraine?
This is in Ukraine.
Well, they're just being hounded by thugs and supposedly also the SBU, the intelligence agency. Some of these investigative journalists who are questioning the military contracts, questioning corruption in the Zelensky government, questioning a lot of the big policy choices he's made, whether on the battlefield or in terms of domestic politics, they've noticed on security cameras by their homes that they see these men basically following them, tracking them to their homes. They've identified some as actually working for the intelligence, the domestic intelligence agencies. So the apparatus of the state is being used against independent journalists. And it's very likely that some of these thugs, random people who are sending threats or actually showing up to attack journalists are also tied in with the government or government interests. So it's, if you look at the actual experience of journalists who are questioning the government, who are actually dissidents, it's very different from what these reports claim in terms.
Supercharge your.
I think I'm gonna call it a day. This was very interesting. We got way more content to watch and break down, but if just for today, this is gonna be it for today. We've done almost 4 hours. I should have spent so much time on the first topic so I can get through the rest of my topics, but this was fine. Can't believe you spend an hour or two on the fucking black people relationship. This is nuts. But make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. If you want to hear my music, make sure you type in tomorrow and you have all my music on all platforms. By the way, I just released a lyric video, so go check that out. It's for my latest single.
King of my island, they're tryna take my crown. Shaggy, why you leave me now? Shaggy, why you leave me now? Shaggy, why you leave me now? How? Wow. How? Wow. How? How? Wow. Now. How? Wow.
Wait, someone was telling me this sounds like, wait, they're saying this sounds like what do you call it? Man said my boy was like, it's giving Drake passion fruit. I was like, bro. Alright, cool. Make sure you stream that. Make sure you follow me, and then we'll be back. What day is it today? Tuesday. We'll be back this weekend or something. Or if I can, I'll try it during the week as well. So yeah, make sure you do that. Be back soon. What the fuck, bro? Stop harassing me.